Welcome to the From the 108 podcast, starring the drunk uncles of White Sox Twitter. He's a Twitter like whore, an Instagram thirst trap, and your grandma's guilty pleasure, BeefLoaf. A West Coast attitude in a decidedly Midwest body, MySoxSummer. And your host, he's sharing obscure music thoughts to give you time to hit the bathroom, Chorizy-E.
Thank you, Chorizy. Welcome to the From the 108 podcast. Get ready for some baseball, beer, and bullshit. And remember what?
Nothing. I said podcast.
And remember the drinking rules. If BeefLoaf calls himself a menace or talks about the gilfs, you drink. If MySoxSummer says listen or interrupts me in the intro, you drink. And if I talk music or say here's the thing, you drink. And of course, you can make all of us drink for a tip of $1.08 or more. But speaking of drinking, fellas, what are you drinking? BeefLoaf, what are you drinking?
I had to dip into our stash of Surfside, but I did a mixed bucket tonight, boys. I did some tea, some lemonade. I'm starting off with the peach, which is BeefLoaf favorite. Delicious. I haven't really sat down and had these in a little bit. I think a couple podcasts ago I did. So looking forward to it. Should be lovely.
Surfsides are beautiful. I had a couple super lights this week already, so we'll see how it goes.
They're a big hit at the bar.
Yeah, I mean, like the buckets of super lights move at Cork, man. It's it's a thing. They're also the ones that they're least likely to give us for free. The Miller Lights, those buckets come through free of charge sometimes. Those super lights, yeah. those are paid buckets.
Usually paid. That's right.
I get it though. They're in demand.
They ain't cheap.
MySoxSummer. Summer. What are you drinking?
You know, that's funny because I also have a mixed bucket, but it's a mixed bag.
Oh, baby.
Because I don't have access to ice right away. I have Surfsides also. I have 2 teas and 2 super lights. So, you know, I like the super lights. I also like the teas, but regular tea and then a peach tea. Peach tea, I think, is probably my favorite tea flavor. It's probably the best one, and they're probably going to discontinue that because we've made it known that we like it, so that's probably going to go away. You know,
aren't they getting rid of Chorizy's lemonades that he likes? Like, I think
they already got rid of it. Yeah, they already got rid of it. It was like the black cherry lemonade or whatever it was. But yeah, that's all right. That's all right. But when you said you had a mixed bag, MSS, I thought for sure you had like some Aldi beers. I was really hopeful for a second that you dipped back into the Aldi stouts and found some good 39-cent stouts.
I still have some of those. I haven't given them all to my father yet, so I still have some that I can then bring over to the house next time we do an in-person podcast. We can drink 79 barrel-aged stouts.
A little taste test. A little taste test for us. I kind of like it.
I can taste it already. Chorizo, what are you drinking? And did it cost more or less than 79 cents?
It cost more than 79 cents, but it was on sale. And so I've been meaning to pick this up because I do like this beer, and I saw that they have like a variety pack now, and that is the cold time. So there's a cold time variety pack. So this is actually this is like their crisp rice lager. And so this one's a little bit different. It's a little drier, maybe. But it's lighter. It's like lighter than the regular cold time, but there's also an amber, and then there's
a lime.
It's a green can though, MSS, and it says it's like they call it like the export. The only thing I could tell that's different is that there's more alcohol.
Okay,
that's the only thing that's discernible about it. Like, hey, if we're gonna send this to Europe, it better have more alcohol. I think that's what or maybe it's export to Canada, and they're like, yeah, the Canadians ain't gonna drink a 4.8%er. They're just not. So we got to send a 5.8. Let's send a 5.
Little high.
Beef, how you doing tonight?
I'm good, boys. Actually, I've had something on my mind for a while. Haven't had a chance to share it with you guys or discuss with you guys. Yeah. I'm sure you know it was huge news. Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, they got married July 3rd. Madison Square Garden was a big to-do. And there was a website that had a running list of the guest list. Now, I'm not going to assume that this is 100% correct guest list, but as people wanted to know who was at the wedding, I think it was probably decent. And when you go through the guest list, you could see people who are very obviously a guest of Travis, former teammates, Kareem Hunt and guys like that. And then with Taylor, there are people you can see that are very obviously her guests, people she's played with on tour, collaborated with in songs, etc.
Kanye West.
Then there was a list of people. When I looked at the list, I was like, who the fuck invited this person? And so what I wanted to do is bring you guys a handful of those people and have you help me decide who you think invited them. Was it Travis or was it Taylor who invited these people? Now I'm going to start off. The first one is the officiant, and that is Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler at the wedding, he's up there in place of a priest or nobleman or whatever. He's
right.
The ceremony. Chorizy-E, who do you think invited Adam Sandler? Who's friends with him? How did he get here?
So I don't think it's the same answer, Beef. I think Taylor Swift probably knows Adam Sandler. I just assume that the ultra rich just all know each other. So I think they're friends. But she found out that Travis Kelce is a huge Adam Sandler fan because he has to be a huge Adam Sandler fan.
You think that fits?
he's in that age group where you're a huge Adam Sandler fan, most likely. He grew up on all those. He's 10 years younger than us.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, he's late 30s. That's correct.
And so we were college age kind of when he was getting really big, right? He's watching all these movies, kind of all the middle movies where we're kind of all right, I've had enough of Adam Sandler. He's in high school.
That's his favorite shit. Yeah, that's the shit he loves.
So I assume that she was really, they were on a date and she's like, who's your favorite actor of all time? And he's like, Adam Sandler. And she's like, I can get him to officiate our wedding. That's an easy call.
MSS, believable story or not? Or you think something else happened here with Adam Sandler?
No, Adam Sandler has two young daughters that were definitely Taylor Swift fans, and that's how they met. He's calling in favors because trying to get
tickets to the show.
Tickets to the show are really hard. So he's got to even work his little magic. He's like, hey man, it's the Sandman. I'm gonna when we come to your show, or whatever. But yeah, so I just saw the other thing too. So now this is two times. Chorizy just posted that Adam was on Travis Kelce's podcast, and that's the second time that Taylor Swift has asked Adam Sandler to do something. I'm willing to come to her wedding, and please go be on my husband's podcast.
It's all favors. You got
that. MSS. Let me ask you a question though on the Adam Sandler thing. On the Adam Sandler thing.
Down.
If you're getting someone to officiate your wedding, right? And think our friend group, right? Isn't Adam Sandler a huge risk for underdress? This would be like asking Slim Mick to come officiate your wedding. You're he might wear sweatpants. This motherfucker might wear sweatpants.
Yeah.
You gotta be willing to accept that though, I think, right? You gotta be in that moment if you're gonna do it.
Listen, I would just say this, Chorizo. If you're getting married at Madison Square Garden, you're up for the pageantry and kind of the ridicule and just mocking whatever you're doing, right? You're just okay, we're getting married in a sports arena because this is the biggest place that we can fill people. So yes, you definitely need Adam Sandler wearing a fucking bowling shirt and a sweatshirt underneath that, and then shorts that are down to below his knees. Yes, I think you have to. You need a guy that can play to the room, and that's a guy that can play to the room.
All right, next up is a total 90s babe. You guys will recognize her. And this one that was a little surprising to me because I don't know that she's been much in pop culture the last 20 years. And that is Cindy Crawford. This is more modern picture of Cindy. Cindy's a little older than we are. I think she's in her 50s. MySoxSummer, who invited Cindy Crawford to this wedding?
Oh, Adam Sandler, 100%. Or not Adam Sandler. I'm sorry.
I'm the officiant. I can bring whoever I want.
This is probably, man, this is tough because you would think you don't want to say she looks pretty good for her age. So it makes me think that Taylor Swift did it, because you don't want him inviting some hot older woman to his wedding. It's like
a little weird, right?
It is weird. But I think her husband also, Cindy Crawford's husband, owns like a bunch of nightclubs and clubs, and I don't know. He's got a ton of money. And again, not to jump on Chorizy-E's theory, but like the ultra rich all know the ultra rich, so they're just like, yeah. So this is a Taylor invite too.
Yes, I think Taylor as well, because I had to look up who her husband was just to see if that's the connection.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, he owns the whiskey in New York City. And then like he does Casamigos.
Runs the Rainbow Room too, or used to own.
He does Casamigos with Clooney. Yeah, so I'm guessing that there's like a kind of like music relationship here at some point that existed. And if he's kind of a New York guy, yeah, I'm going Taylor over Kelsey.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's a sweep there on Cindy
Taylor.
Crawford. Next up, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was surprised this guy was invited in general. One of the drinkiest men on the face of the planet. He probably should be in the hashtag 108 Hall of Fame. We ever bring that back.
Oh, baby.
He is
John Daly.
He is called the Great One. That is Wayne Gretzky. You like how I have the off-centered picture of him? This was like the best shot I could find of him because he looks horrible and everything these days. Yeah. He's just like a drunken, blathering mess. Chorizy-E, who invited Wayne Gretzky to the Kelsey Swift wedding?
Not invited. There was a hockey event there the day before. He passed out. They didn't kick him out. He woke up in the middle of the wedding. So yeah, he was he was not invited. Just not. No one who would invite Wayne Gretzky to an open bar wedding.
What the hell?
That has
MSS, what do you think, bro?
It's tough. Definitely Travis Kelce. Like this is just like, hey, this is the one way that I can meet this guy that I admire. And his brother, Travis Kelce's brother, is a big drinker. So maybe him and Wayne have just gotten tied up a few times, and he's like, please let me invite my buddy Wayne. He really likes Taylor. He thinks it would be fun. It'd be good for his Q rating. And then
he likes open bar.
As far as I know, we haven't heard any like bad stories about Wayne out of the wedding. So maybe it did help his Q rating. So like they weren't like he fell down the stairs.
I think we need to separate the term big drinker from what Wayne Gretzky is. I think that's like going, that guy likes cocaine. No, that's Rick James. There's a different word for this.
That's a good point. Chorizy, the only thing that came to my mind was our cousins who are about 10 years younger than we are. They played hockey with the Kelseys in Cleveland back in the day. So I just kind of wondered if they're just big hockey fans and they eventually wanted to meet Gretzky and then did, and maybe hit up a little friendship with him. Like that was the only thought I had in my mind about how the hell he got in there. So.
I mean, it's got to be Kelsey. Like I can't imagine the scenario that's a Taylor Swift invite, but I can't imagine where he was not invited. I could imagine that scenario.
We're just stuck with it. Next up from Modern Family fame is Eric Stone Street. MySoxSummer. Who the fuck invited Cam from Modern Family to this wedding?
Oh man,
I know this answer.
Is he really gay or is
no?
he just
He's not
gay?
No, he
plays
not
gay.
He just plays gay. That's correct.
So okay, so that's probably gonna go with my theory. Then he's like a dude's dude. He's a Kelsey invite, right? Like he's like
a huge Chiefs fan.
Okay.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah. So it's gotta be it's gotta be Kelsey. Yeah.
That was exactly what I was gonna guess.
Yeah, the comments are all over that. So yes, Stone Street with the Chiefs. Easy Travis invite there. Okay, all right. We got one where we're pretty unanimous with. This one I was surprised by. I have no idea whether this guy belongs. Like the Gretzky thing was hard to reconcile for me, but George Stephanopoulos, I haven't the slightest fucking clue why this man was at this wedding. Chorizy-E, who invited George Stephanopoulos to the Kelsey Swift wedding?
I will just say whoever invited Wayne Gretzky is not the same person that invited Stephanopoulos. So I'm gonna go Taylor Swift on this one. Yeah. Taylor pretty far left. I think that's the only way you would think that Stephanopoulos gets in on this. Probably interviewed her at some point. Probably did some big interview with her, which I mean, I missed, but I'm sure it was great. So, but yeah, no way. If Kelsey invited Gretzky, Stephanopoulos, not in the same list. No way.
Okay, MySoxSummer, what do you think here?
I'm going to work with the same thing. The New York elitist, that's what he is, and that's what she is. So yes, they definitely, that's her invite. She definitely.
Steve Chronopoulos was there. It was the first one we showed. He officiated the wedding.
And Senior says, Senior has some thoughts on this guy too. All right, the very last one.
Say that.
Last one. And I'm glad it's on MySoxSummer, actually. I'm glad he's the one who gets to choose this one because I was just looking through the list. We already had Cindy Crawford, so we had Hot Older Babe. And this is an additional Hot Older Babe that I'm going to put up here for you guys. MySoxSummer. Who invited Julianne Moore?
Dude,
to the Swift Kelsey wedding?
For the same reasons Cindy Crawford was definitely not invited by Kelsey. You don't allow hot older women to come to your wedding unless they're your invite. So this is definitely, a Taylor Swift invite, not a Kelsey. Like, okay. I don't know if it's illegal to invite someone to your wedding that you've jerked off to, but like Travis Kelsey is definitely jerked off to her. So like, you can't have her come in like, no. So it's a Taylor Swift.
MSS, this is what I was thinking, because I wonder if Taylor Swift, if Travis Kelsey is a big fan of Boogie Nights, like you are. And maybe he loved the acting. He's a big fan of the acting. I'm not sure. Chorizy, what do you think, buddy?
It's great.
I had to look at the timeline. He was only 8 when Boogie Nights came out. So he might have missed the Boogie Nights era. He that might be a movie that he's not going back to watch because it's 3 hours and it doesn't
fair. That's fair.
He didn't grow up with it.
Huge amount of tits, though. Come on.
Hey,
Heather Graham in her
watchable in
I love it.
Opinion,
I love it, but people miss movies, especially when they dedicate their entire life to sports. So I don't know that he's seen it.
Point. It's a good point.
And definitely not seen it enough, like the three of us, that Julianne Moore would be considered to be a wedding guest. I got to go Taylor Swift on this. I got to go Taylor Swift on this.
I don't agree with your rationale, but I agree that it is definitely Taylor Swift.
Baloney, Papa Kelsey invite. Dude, is a stick. Yes. All right, that's all I got for you guys. Thank you for indulging me there and trying to figure out who was at the Swift Kelsey wedding.
We got a drink here from Tim. He says set in 109 today. Chorizy left in like the second inning. Cheers, boys. Cheers. I did.
Thank you, Tim. Appreciate you.
I had to get the permanent crown put in. So I no more temporary crown back here. So I'm like a day away from being able to eat normal instead of having just everything on one side of my face.
You can chew bones like you're normally used to.
What a life you're about to live.
But thank you for the drink, Tim. And
appreciate you.
If you're in the super chatting mood tonight, the super chat that makes me laugh the most, the one that I love the most, this will be all on me, so you can be pissed at me when you don't win, gets a 108 bobblehead.
Yeah.
I was able to get my hands on some more of them. Just a few more.
Yep.
And we're giving one away. So
we're going to give one away tonight.
Throw in the super chats anyways. You know, maybe second prize will be some tickets to an upcoming game. Who knows?
First prize
could be.
You're fired.
Might have a couple pairs of those floating around. So yeah, fire those in. Someone's getting a 108 bobblehead tonight.
Nice.
Love it. MySoxSummer. How you doing tonight?
Yeah, good. I had a seltzer earlier today, so I got a little brain fog.
Congratulations.
I got a small brain fog going right now. So like when I'm a little slow, just in general, but I also just came off a vacation where I was popping edibles like they were gummy bears. When so much as my daughter says, "When can I have one of those pieces of candy?" And I go, "You can." Until later.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, and luckily I have one of those little safes, like it's a baggy safe that they lock. So I lock it now because I was afraid.
Yeah.
At one point, my oldest had somebody stay the night. And I was like, you know what? We probably shouldn't have 70 bags of edibles that are just available for somebody to walk up and just grab one. Like, I should probably put them somewhere and lock them. So I did that. So I am responsible, much to a lot of people's chagrin. But today, I did not sit in 108 because last night I was walking home. And I had planned on bringing my girls because they're out of school, and we're trying to soak up all of the moments before school starts again, because then they're just internally mad at me because they're at school and have to get up and all that. So we're in this you can sleep in phase right now, and they sleep in, and so they're usually well rested. As long as I get them fed enough in time, they're like a gremlin, like a little mogwai. As long as they're fed correctly, they're usually in good moods. And being at a baseball game is fun for them. But while I was walking home last night, I got offered up. I was going to buy tickets, but I didn't need to because somebody said, hey, I have 5 tickets. Do you want them for tomorrow? And I said, absolutely. And I know where the seats are, and they're behind the bullpen on the Sox side in 159, like row 10. They are great seats. So I was like, I want to enjoy this seat. And also we brought the guy's daughter with us. So she was like, I want to sit in our seats. And I was like, you know what? We're going to sit in your seats, because I sit over here all the time. And plus, who's playing right field or left field today? Sam Antonacci. That was beautiful.
Oh, man.
So I got to just be behind my
rock hard
for the most part. Yeah, I was rock hard the whole day.
ROCH.
Now,
ROCH.
yes. Unfortunately, I missed something that was in the section tonight, and I wanted to bring it up, and I wanted to show a picture. I missed this. I missed Gabriel trying a moonshot, and he did a food review, but I just wanted to watch him eat it and negotiate this. Chorizo, did you happen to see Gabriel do the moonshot?
No, he told me he was going to do it, and I didn't believe it, because I don't picture Gabriel as a big sushi guy. Maybe he is, but I don't picture him as a big sushi guy based on how much ketchup he puts on everything. Well, I don't think that he would like the sushi doesn't
the
seem
ketchup
like
version of sushi was not presented here. Like,
that was going to be the follow-up question. Had you said yes, I saw him eat the roll, and I was going to ask you how much ketchup did he have all over himself and all over the roll, because he's a big ketchup guy. But okay, so I just needed to know that. Now, at the end of the game, there's kids running down there every in between every inning, and usually they're throwing balls to him. And so kids got tons of balls over there. It was awesome, and Sam's throwing to people. Banana guy Tristan Peters is throwing out to people. And I would say 90% of the people that the ball was thrown to caught the ball. And they had a glove. They were kids usually, and they had a glove, and they caught the ball. So it was pretty impressive. And then if an adult caught one, they gave it directly to a kid. I was impressed with this. So at the end of the game, the girls all go down. There's 4 of them at this point, and they all go down, and they're like harassing the people in the bullpen to give them a ball. And and no one would give them a ball. There was no balls left. So what happens? The security guard goes into the dugout and pulls down the fucking lineup card that is in the thing and gives it to one of the girls. Now, she is really, really excited, which made my heart feel really good. It's not my daughter, obviously, but I was just like, she's so excited. She's like, my brother is going to love this. We can put it up on his wall, blah, blah, blah. Now, if you're looking at this at home, and if you don't follow us on YouTube, you should. If you look at the manager's signature, BeefLoaf, who signed this lineup card, manager?
It looks like Grant Taylor signed it to me.
Right. But do you think Grant Taylor signs his name like that, or did somebody make that?
Someone signed that of him. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah.
Chorizo, what do you think? Do you think Grant Taylor actually signed that, or did somebody set Grant Taylor up for the failure of this?
Let me just say that I hope we could find out who it is, because a Grant Taylor autograph by like Sean Newcomb would be hilarious. That would be like the I got a Sean Newcomb autograph, but it's actually Grant Taylor's name. Like, that would be a great have. That would be like, I would want some shit like that.
I just thought it was so interesting because she pulls it up and I go, oh, wow. I go, Grant Taylor signed that as the manager. And she goes, oh, my goodness, Grant Taylor. I like him. And I was like, man, she's really killing it today as far as the fandom, knowing all the players. And my daughters do too. But, not so much like that. Would not be excited if they got a lineup card. They wish they would have got a ball. But I did tell her, I go, I'd rather have a lineup card than a ball. So good job. But so that's how I'm doing tonight. It was a fun day at the ballpark. Fun last weekend into this, and we'll talk more about that later.
Let's get a few drinks here, guys, before we bring in our guests. So, William Thrasher says, Beef, I was the guy who had my kids high five you after Sunday's game on the exit ramp by the urinals. I loved your drunken confusion. Made my day. Will, you're in the lead right now for the bottle.
Cheers.
Well, thank you, my friend. That was fun.
Southside Jeff T says third prize is an ad read by a high MSS. No, our ad reads are much more expensive than that, but thank you.
That's true. Cheers.
Sam Massaro blank. This is probably second place right now. I like that. Cheers, Sam.
Right in there. You're in the hunt, Sam.
The Region Rat. What's up, brother? He says, drink if you've ever played at Riot Fest, refuse to admit Will has ever made a mistake, or definitely only got one Pope hat on Tuesday night. The middle one seems like Rat's being a whiny bitch that we like Will Venable.
We do like Will Venable.
But I will drink for the Riot Fest.
There.
I only got one Pope hat. I'll drink twice.
I appreciate this, Rat. You're trying hard, man. Just be yourself. You'll get into fights on the internet. Don't worry about it, buddy.
I only got one. Bro.
I have zero. I technically have zero because I got one for someone else. So, and then K Dog says highlight of the homestay was seeing Chorizy-E, motherfucker, always spell my shit wrong. Channeling his inner MSS and lugging 17 bobbleheads on the concourse. It was 4. No Ziploc semen shirt though.
My God.
Cheers.
Oh, there's no semen on that, sir. That's extra.
Nice pull.
That's extra.
It was great. I wish he could have seen me a few minutes later because I had the bag of bobbleheads and 2 Polish with onions walking through the thing. I almost trucked 15 old people as I was flying through there to get to my seat. All right, MSS, let's pay some bills and let's do this. Our guy in.
Let's do this quick. He's waiting. Time is money. Time is money nowadays. When you're on the road with people who matter the most, second best isn't an option. Mazda was officially named Consumer Reports' first ever safest new car brand in 2026, an evaluation that sets a new benchmark for how effectively modern vehicles help drivers avoid crashes and protect occupants when one occurs. Mazda doesn't hide protection behind expensive upgrades. Advanced eye active sense safety tech like automatic emergency braking and blind spot monitoring come standard on every model. Top-tier safety meets a drive you'll actually love. Mazda delivers vehicles that meet the highest standards of safety while staying true to the joy of driving that defines Mazda. Ready to take a test drive? Visit Mazda of Orland Park at 8910 West 159th Street, Orland Park, or at West 159 TH Street, Orland Park, or schedule a test drive online. Check out our current selection of Mazdas on MazdaofOrlandPark.com. Mazda of Orland Park, keeping Sox fans safe all season long. Tonight's guest, ding, 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 a 2007 4th-round draft pick by the Cleveland Indians, drafted by the Baltimore Orioles in 2012 in the Rule 5 draft. Played 13 seasons in the MLB with 6 MLB teams. Appeared in 2 playoff series. He officially retired in 2026. Former Oriole, former Diamondback, former Oakland Athletic, former Cardinal, former Met, and former Sacramento Athletic. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome TJ McFarland.
Yes.
TJ, what's up?
All right.
Cheers, 108ers. Cheers. Thanks for having me.
Cheers, my friend.
I'm with my people, Southsiders. Let's go.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
I'm excited. Thanks for having me on. How you guys feeling tonight?
Good to have you back.
Yeah. It's been a little while.
So we've done a podcast with you before. We've done a 3 things with you. And now this is the second podcast. And this is the first time you're not an active player.
Nope.
You know, haven't been in the league. You know, you just retired this year.
Yeah.
Like it's nice to see the whole thing come around, right? Like, because I came into the family, we're not related. My wife and you are related. We're related by marriage. I like to say you're my cousin too, and my dad likes to say that we're related too, because he trotted you around to everyone from Ohio on my side of the family. Is like, this is TJ McFarland. He is in your farm leagues. Please put him on the team. Like, they're gonna do something, but it's like. It's fun to see this, and then like we just had a family event a couple weeks ago, and I was talking, and I was trying to be cautious. I didn't want to be like, hey, come on the podcast and come talk about something you've been doing for 2 decades and you just retired from, instead of trying to live your life with the kids and the wife and all that. But you're like, dude, I need to talk to some people about some sports.
I need an outlet. I need
all
to
this
talk
stuff.
Ball. Get me on the show. It's like, come on, I'll be reoccurring. I'll do anything to get on here.
And I was like, I just had Daniel Polka. You know, we're getting at like ex MLB players. We're getting kind of full in that level, but we'll make an exception for you because you're related to my wife. Now, okay, so I sent you some questions, but we have some other ones. But we're going to start with the career. Like, so you got drafted in 2007. Like right out of high school, went to Stag.
Long time ago. Jeez.
Long time ago. Like you probably still had dial-up internet. Like that's how long it was.
Yes.
Did you ever imagine when you got drafted, like the career that you would end up having?
It's funny. It's like kind of a trick question, right? Because like when you get drafted, of course you do, right? Like as a kid that gets drafted, you got to have those aspirations. You got to have those dreams, those goals that you'll last forever. But no, as I was going through it, as I was in the minor leagues, I think I just got to a point where I'd be lucky enough to make it. And then I just kept grinding and kept being healthy and being a lefty that got some guys out when I was in big spots and was able to continue getting chances. But I wouldn't necessarily say my career was like a lot of highs and lows. I would have a really good season, and then man, I would be like, why is this guy even in the big leagues? And then have to reinvent myself, do it all over again. So it was a seesaw for sure. That's, as you could see, I went into pro ball with hair. I had great hair. I'm exiting with a shaved head, and now you can see a glare from the light. So if that's any indication of how my career went, that's a perfect encapsulate of it.
You're wearing it well.
I appreciate that.
I wouldn't worry about that at all. Like, what did you focus on during the career? Your long, illustrious, up and down career that to make that happen? Like, was there like any type of aspect of you as a person that you put out there to make sure that like they knew, like, hey, we need this guy on this team. Well, this is a guy that we need to have around.
Well, I think I was considered a glue guy, right? That's why I stuck around. I have some humility, right? Obviously, I didn't think I was always the most talented. I did make it to the big leagues, so I had some talent.
Yeah.
But I stuck around because I think I made other people better. I was in that clubhouse loosening everybody up in the bullpen, making sure everybody felt good. I was always, I prided myself on being a good teammate, and that's what it was. And maybe at some points I probably hindered myself in my own skill level, but no, I enjoyed being that guy. I enjoyed having fun, even to the last out. And I remember my last out that I had in the big leagues. I had fun out there. I was a kid playing travel ball like I was 8 years old. So yeah, if I had any advice as you're going through this, understand that it's just a game. Like, have some fun, relax, have some perspective. A lot changed actually when I started school. So I actually ended up getting my degree while playing, and it alleviated some of that pressure of like, what if I don't make it? What am I going to do?
Yeah.
It helped me kind of relax on the field, and I was able to kind of succeed because of it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
If you can talk your way around and have the skills too. I mean, you definitely have the skill. And then to be able to like be the glue guy, like at a certain point, there's another guy that's like you with the same things, but he's an asshole. They don't want that asshole in there.
No.
Like, we don't need that guy. And I feel like we've learned on the South Side that like the right mix of people and in good moods, like it improves the product that is on that field. You know, if everyone's gelling and having a good time, I think that's good. So you need that guy. You need the old guy.
You got the wizard of Mike Vassell in the dugout right now, getting everybody going. That's exactly what you need. I actually spent some time with him with the Mets when we were in Syracuse together in AAA.
Oh, nice.
He's a bro. He's absolutely a bro.
So we got an interview with him post like a few weeks, I don't know, like a month ago, and Chorizy-E's giving the interview, which is the most beautiful picture because Chorizy-E's 5'7" and Mike Vassell's 6'7".
Yeah.
And he's just little. He's holding it up.
He's
and
reaching up. Yeah.
I mean, TJ,
Vassell's also this wide, like his shoulders. Oh my God, he's huge.
Like, people are like, "Oh, Mike Vassell, he's just a big dude," and he is a huge dude. Like he looks like the Hulk. Like because TJ, you're a tall guy, but you're not big. Yeah. This guy is just like huge and has huge arms, and you're just like, this looks like a video game pitcher, you know. You're like, he's gonna throw a really fast fastball. I don't know, this is crazy. So was Vassell crazy back then too, or no?
He wasn't crazy. He had a little, like, obviously he made it up the farm system pretty fast, I believe. He ended up getting Rule 5 and then traded, bounced around. But no, he was the same guy. He's the same guy he was now. I mean, it's a guy that you want to be around. You know, it's a guy that you can feed off of. Might not be a guy that the other team loves to watch, but hey, listen, every team has that. That's not a big deal.
Yeah. No, it was cool that we saw at the beginning of the season when they said he's going to travel with the team. We were all like,
that doesn't happen, by the way. That does not happen.
Right. So there's like something's there, right? Yeah. Like he's got something. So that was good. So that was fun.
I'm sure he's probably one of the youngest mic guys. I'm sure he's on the mic on the bus too. So he's got some good stories. Yeah. But those guys, you need one. You need one in that clubhouse, and winning teams come together like that as a ragtag group because of one common denominator, like a Mike Vassell, that brings everybody together. That brings some levity to this 162 game season, which is a grind. And you need that. And that's what he does.
Yeah.
Now, when you came into the league, though, you came in through the Rule 5 draft because you were with Cleveland for a while, and then Baltimore picks you up. And for those unfamiliar with the Rule 5, once you draft someone in there, they have to be on you at the time, the 25-man roster, and through the season, or you got to send them back to the previous team. In that situation, did you feel like a little bit of relief, like, oh, I think they've got to keep me around? Or was it kind of more of a panic of like, they could send me back at any time, and then I know I'm still stuck in that system?
I think I was a little oblivious to like how the rules actually worked, which helped me. I think if I thought a little too much of the fine print of, hey, listen, if you suck, they're going to send you back. It's not like you're here forever, you know, like if you do well, yes, you're with them. Yeah, I don't know if I'm glad I didn't think of it that way. When I made the team, I just thought I was on the team, you know, and I just kind of moved forward. But had I really thought about it, I would have been like, shoot, if I have one bad game, they can send me back. And that's no good way to play baseball, I'll tell you that.
It is interesting. It does say something about you too, though, that like you didn't go to it. Like a lot of times you see Rule 5 guys that stick throughout the season. It's like, okay, this team won 46 games, 52 games or something. Right. You know, they had the space for it. That was an 85 win team in Baltimore. That was a good team. Like, and that's 85 in the East. Yeah.
I threw 70 innings and then backed it up with like another 60 or 65. So like within my first 2 years, I was rolling. I was doing good. And you know, obviously got Rule 5, got lucky and fortunate enough to be able to get an opportunity, but just ran with it. And that's really all it is that a lot of these guys in the minor leagues, they have the talent. It's just whether or not they get the opportunity and then take advantage of the opportunity that they get. Whether how small it is, it doesn't matter. It's, you know, you get that little time frame. Maybe you get 2 or 3 games, but you got to really make it last.
Yeah.
Well, now, TJ, I'm familiar with your pitching profile in general. But before the show, I went and looked at your Baseball Savant page, and I watched it go through the years. And what fascinated me was like you're like 90th to 99th percentile ground ball rate guy the entire time that you played. Was your strategy kind of like, I'm going to make this asshole pound the ball into the ground? Or were you more or less like, I'm just going to try to make it hard for him to make contact with this in a solid way and not worry so much about where the ball was being batted?
So in the big leagues, yes. In the big leagues, there's always like, just get outs. Didn't matter. In fact, everybody had told me that. In the minor leagues, it was tough because the minor leagues, you need to strike people out in order to continue progressing.
Okay. Yeah.
At any normal rate. I had to repeat every level because they're like, well, you're getting outs, but it's not sexy. It's not great. You're getting ground balls. It's not going to play at the next level. And then finally, like I mentioned before, if you get that opportunity in the big leagues, it really doesn't matter how you get outs. Just perform.
Right.
If you don't perform, then yes, you probably have a smaller leash, which is exactly what happened to me every year. It's like, yes, I would go on these amazing spurts, and then the moment I would struggle, you're out of there. But no, my thought process was, one, I couldn't strike anybody out. And anytime I tried to, I would just get in trouble. So yes, I was at some point, I'd be like, all right, I'm just going to get quick outs. I'm going to have my fielders, help me out. I think more than half the teams, I would have at least 2 Gold Glovers in the infield, so that helped me tremendously.
That's helpful, yeah.
I mean, you're talking about what the Orioles when you had Machado, Brian Roberts, JJ Hardy, Chris Davis.
Oh yeah.
Then I went to Arizona and had Goldschmidt. I had Jake Lamb over there. I had Nick Ahmed.
Oh man, Nick Ahmed, that was
then I went to Oakland and had Chapman, Simeon, Olsen. It's like it's ridiculous the amount of people I had in my infield throughout my career. But there's a reason for that. Obviously, I had 90% ground balls, so why would you not want a good defensive team?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Was there
I wasn't always that way though. High school, I got drafted because I threw like 94 and struck a lot of people out. I got hurt within like the first year. Thought I was going to have Tommy John. I actually had it on the schedule, an appointment for Tommy John when I was, what would that be, like 18, 19 years old.
Oh, wow.
And I saw a non-surgical doctor. He said, you don't need it. I'll just rehab you. Never had any pain ever since, but I didn't throw as hard, and I needed to throw a sinker because I was getting crushed. So like something happened there where I changed without knowing, and I just adapted. I mean, you have to adapt or you die in the game.
What, for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you looking back on it that you would have done differently? What was something? Is there anything that you just sort of like, man, I just wish I would have done this instead of that?
It's the mentality. I think, and it's so hard to say this now, obviously. I've gone through a 13-year career, and I can look back and be like, why was I so nervous? Why was I so holding everything so tightly? And it's because that's what you do when you first get into the league. But if I had to do it all over again with the knowledge I have, I wouldn't change anything in terms of how I pitched. It's just the mentality of it. I think early on, I always stressed myself out way too much, which is normal. I think most guys do. But man, I wish my older self, I wish I could go back and tell my younger self, like, hey, take a breath. You're going to be okay. Everything's okay. Like it's just, it was stressful in the beginning. And then as I progressed and as I got more comfortable and confident in my own game and who I was, it helped me out, but it took a long time.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Yeah. We're going to get into some favorites here. You wore a lot of different uniforms for a lot of different teams. What was your favorite uniform that you put on, and why was it the Arizona Diamondbacks vest? It was probably that one, right?
Yeah. And showing off these pipes. That's, of course, yeah.
Here we go. Look at you, right? Look at you. Look at you right in there.
Honestly, I think it's the St. Louis Baby Blues. I love those.
Oh, wow. That's good. That's a good jersey.
Those are nice. I did perform really well with I think it was Friday nights in Baltimore. They had the black jerseys for Baltimore, and it just was a great look. And I always did really well in it. So I think I still have. It's a shame I don't have any of my jerseys hung up yet. I got to do that. One of them I have is the black Baltimore one. That's my favorite jersey. It just looks sharp.
Did you keep? You didn't keep everything. Right? Like you didn't did you keep all your jerseys?
I had some sticky fingers towards the end of the year for sure.
There you go. Good.
I think they end up if you take too many, they charge you for it because they aren't cheap.
Really?
So they come out of your check, but you kind of just whatever. It's the price you pay. But I ended up grabbing a couple jerseys. Yeah.
Well, good. I do have your game used batting helmet from Arizona. So if you ever want that,
Nice.
I'll return it to you. You can have. I mean, you didn't give it to me. I paid for it, but I'll give it to you. It's totally on the house, for this. But
I ended up keeping one of my bats, so no need. I got memories there. Yeah.
Ready to go.
what
Yeah,
about
the first
last time we talked to you, you regaled us with a story of
Grinky?
Of
Yeah,
Zach
Zach
Greinke
Greinke.
just like ruining your life by telling you how bad you looked at the plate.
So you want to remember that moment with a batting helmet and a bat.
I want to know that it's that bad. Is it that bad?
It's not that bad. No, I burned that one. I swung at a curveball that was 40 feet. Yeah, I wanted to remember.
That's in some kid's
just
basement in
brutally
Phoenix.
honest,
He's like, I got a TJ McFarland bat.
Yeah, that's been used but really never used. Yeah,
It looks brand new.
Game action.
That's got to be hard too, because you don't do it. Like it'd be like, hey, how come you can't throw that fastball to like a DH? He's like, well, I'm not supposed to do that. I'm supposed to do this. So
the level of competition changed drastically. I mean, I was a good hitter in high school. I batted 4. I probably hit a couple home runs. I was a good ball player in high school. But man, once you go to pro after high school, or you don't swing a bat for a majority of your career, and then you're facing like Garrett Cole, you have no chance. I might as well be a random person off the street has a similar chance than I did. Yeah.
Where was your favorite place to pitch?
Favorite place to pitch, because of how big it was Seattle, the Mariners. It's huge, it's expansive, but on top of that, I just love the ballpark. I think if people can afford it, if cities can afford it, owners can afford it, that idea.
Oh no!
As the side's still open, so like even when it's closed, you still feel like you're outside. It's the best of both. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's
what was the only kind of like enclosed thing I would like here, right?
Yeah,
like,
if it still had some opening. Yeah, exactly.
Even though you hate when you get stuck in like a weather delay or you get all this stuff, like I don't want to be in like the full dome, and I hate going to the dome in Milwaukee when it just closed and there's like no circulation in there and it's just like 1,000 degrees. Like that's just the worst. So like I would love a ballpark like that here.
Yeah, you still feel that crisp air. It's not even like I'm trying to get warm, it's like just get rid of the elements, which is a little bit of the wind and then the rain, or in Chicago with the snow.
Exactly.
Just get something that like kind of rolls over and then you can roll it back when it's beautiful out. I think that's perfect.
Yeah, you come on. All right. Jesus Christ. You say hi? You can say hi.
Special guest.
Hurry up. Come over here. Hurry up. We're in the middle of a show. Let's go. What is your favorite city that you played in? Like across the thing. Come here.
Favorite city? And this isn't because I'm from here. It's not like I'm biased, but Chicago is. It just is the best city to go to in the summertime. I always enjoyed coming back home and coming here. Chicago is the best, whether you're playing at Comiskey or Wrigley. And yes, I still call it Comiskey. I refuse to call it.
It does kind of win the player surveys generally. When they survey all the players, they all like coming here. Kind of the shopping, restaurants, everything that's going on here. They kind of seem to enjoy it. So
it's nice. Yeah. Usually the weather's perfect, but Chicago's not. Apart from Chicago, obviously, it's it's our home city. I always enjoyed going to Toronto, just because the city itself it was always clean. It was like the air was, like clearer. I don't know. They're doing something in Toronto that makes it just really nice to just walk around. Great scenery. I enjoyed Toronto. Very friendly. Canadians are very friendly.
They are.
Oh, yeah.
I made a mistake when we went to Toronto for a bachelor party, and I left my window open that faced the ballpark. And I got to have the room that faced the ballpark, and they cleaned that place with gas-powered leaf blowers. And so when I got back to my room smelled like gas. Like I was like, oh no! So I don't share the same sentiment that the air is cleaner there, because the first night I had a really gnarly headache just based on that alone. Who is like? Did you have any actual like rivalry guys that you went up against multiple times that you just hated to go to pitch against?
Oh yeah, there was one specifically. You're talking about individual guy, right?
Yeah,
individual player.
Who did
Yeah.
you hate? Yes.
Yeah, for sure. If you ask him this question, I'm probably not a rival because he crushes me. But every time I faced him, Mike Yastrzemski, he
Oh wow.
yes, a left on left matchup that he just absolutely destroyed me. I think his OPS is 2,000 against me. 4 home runs, maybe 7 or 8 RBIs. He's 11 for 13. It's silly how much he owned me and never knew why. And I don't know if he knows why. I think he just saw me. I don't know.
Yeah.
So strange.
Man, we'll have to get him. You're actually his favorite pitcher, probably.
Yeah, yes.
They're like, PJ McFarland's my favorite guy ever.
Yeah. Great guy. Always studying meatballs every time. We faced him. I had faced him for like the last time because people basically were saying we'd rather throw a righty against them than you, so they got caught on. But I was in St. Louis and Yadier Molina, and I was talking with Wainwright, both of them, and we're talking about the series. And Yastrzemski at the time would be like a big left-on-left matchup if something came in, and they're like, "Well, you still want to face him?" I was like, "Yes, of course. Like, I'm never going to say no." But you guys look at the stats, and it just doesn't make any sense. So then Yadi's like, well, just make up a pitch. Like, when we go in there, don't throw anything that you normally do. Throw all 4 seamers up, throw a knuckleball, like whatever it takes. So I think I ended up trying to throw a cutter once. I ended up walking them because I was just like, I was so dumb. But it was better than a home run. And it's probably what it would have done.
Yeah. You knew. So another side here, who was the coolest person or coolest thing that you got to do when you're in the major leagues for that long? Is there something that stands out as something you're just like, oh, this is so cool. I'll never be able to do this.
It was centered around golf. Did I tell you guys this story last time too, or no?
Was it when you played golf at the ballpark?
No. So
no?
We had an off day going into. We were in Texas. We had an off day going into San Diego, but we're in Arlington, and I was with Clay Buchholz, and he's from Austin. So me and a few guys, I say me and a few guys, Clay Buchholz and a few guys, and myself got this PJ, flew down to Austin, played 36 at his local course, which is, I think it's UT's golf course. Stayed the night. I ended up playing poker with like Kevin Millar's his neighbor. It was like, I don't know, it was the showiest day I've ever had. Meeting people. I think Trent Dilfer was there at some point. Like we were just doing it, like it was just bros and the biggest names ever. The next morning was game day. So like we spent the off day in Austin. We still had to fly the next morning, game day, to San Diego. And guess who was starting that game? Clay Buchholz. He shows up. So we take this PJ from Austin straight into San Diego, get like, I don't know, we get in at like 10 or 11. Maybe we get an hour or 2 of shut-eye before we go to the field. He's starting, and he throws a complete game shutout. None of the relievers had to pitch. No one had to do a thing. And it was like, not only was that the showiest 72 hours I've ever been a part of, he's the man. He's absolutely a legend. Pays for PJ, brings guys down to his own course, and then throws a complete game shutout. So nobody has to
do anything. That's awesome.
Incredible.
You did not tell us that story before.
Yeah.
No. I know there was another private jet incident with Greinke, but that wasn't this. So that's awesome.
So I took a fair share of PJs. Never because of me. Always because of somebody else on the team. But I always find myself in those crews.
Let's see. That's a
good place to find yourself.
Glue, yes.
Not a bad glue guy to have.
Glue guys get those benefits, man.
The perks.
Yeah,
for sure. So now you're retired. You announced your retirement on Instagram. A lot of people, a lot of teams came out and said congratulations. And they said thank you, especially the Sacramento A's. How has the adjustment been to civilian life for you?
Yeah, it's a change. It's a change. I don't know if I was prepared. I don't think anybody's prepared for it, right? Like you know it's going to end. Every player knows there's going to be a day. You can't play forever. So it's going to happen. But it happens so fast and you really aren't prepared for it. Mentally, I was okay. Baseball, I don't miss it in terms of playing because at the end the game's too fast, man. I'm slow. I lasted as long as I could. I have no regrets. But, man, I miss that camaraderie. I miss that clubhouse. I miss lifting guys up. I miss the wins. I miss the losses of trying to, like, rally the troops. Like, hey, listen, like, here we, I like that. Mm-hmm. So that's what I definitely is an adjustment to try to find that escape, to find that outlet to get that. But then the other thing is just the home life. I mean, for the first couple of weeks being at home, my wife Jenna's like, this is not how we do things here. Like you better get with the program. You're home now. Figure this out, or something's gonna happen. Like you better figure this out. You're in my world now. Like that's essentially what she's saying. Yeah.
Say, I've been waiting 2 decades for this moment, and now you're gonna fall in line.
Yes,
I dealt with your shit for this long. Now you do with my shit.
Sure,
that's good. Yeah. So has that been the biggest challenge then?
It is. The biggest challenge is just finding your place, like just finding where you fit in. But man, it's been a joy being with the 2 boys. And I did school drop-offs, pickup.
Oh, nice.
My oldest Hudson is starting school soon, so we get to do that again. My youngest is a wrecking ball, Cooper. But it's a joy to be around them. It's the first summer I'm home. So Jake, you were talking about the swimming event that we had over at the country club that we went to for my dad's birthday, and it was like those are the things that I've missed my whole life. I wasn't able to do that. So I don't know, it's just been fun being home and being present in those events. So it's been an adjustment, but man, my shoulders are just like it's just easy living. It's like you're just enjoying life. Trying to figure everything out, but enjoying it because you don't have to worry about a phone ringing and you got to go in the game. It's just nice.
What are you doing now? Like you're not pitching anymore. What's TJ McFarland doing these days?
So I said I didn't lie, but I was kind of exaggerating when I said I wasn't prepared for the end. I was prepared for the end in terms of career. I went to school. I got my degree. That was already set. I kind of set myself up to kind of make the transition into finance. So I ended up, as soon as I got cut and figured out nobody else wanted me, I jump-started the next career. So I ended up doing a whole bunch of schooling, got my Series 6.5, and I'm a financial advisor now for a family office that helps athletes build financial plans.
Nice.
So I've been able to find that usefulness again, right? Use my experience of playing, of kind of figuring out our own household and the finances and shed some light on some younger guys just starting out. So it's been a joy to be able to do that. So baseball adjacent, I'd say it's close.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
With some other, added benefits in there. So it's been fun, but financial advisor for a family office and been enjoying it.
Yeah. And that sounds like a good time because I know you made millions of dollars in the MLB, but
so I got to ask real quick,
be
TJ,
set up? Yeah, go ahead.
Is there any ill will against me and Beef for teaching MySoxSummer how to use like baseball reference and Spotrac and stuff so that he knows how much you made during your career? It's like, do you really want that cousin to know about how much, like MSS cousin-in-law? Do you want him to know how much you made? Because I don't want him to know how much I made.
It's funny you bring that up. So like I was in a world for the last 18 years where all of that was public knowledge, right? Like even the guys in the clubhouse, everyone knew what each other was making. Everyone knew their worth in terms of salary, right? Like not self-worth, but like your worth in terms of salary and the value that the team or whoever you're on brings. In real life, you can't ask those questions to normal people. It's very inappropriate, but like my mind always goes there because I'm so conditioned to just think, well, how much do you make? You know, like it's such a thing that rolls off my tongue. And it's like, I got to bite my tongue. Like, stop, hang on. We're in the real world. I'm a civilian now. You can't ask those questions. But yeah, it is kind of it's a strange thing that someone could just look it up and be like, oh yeah, he made X amount during his career. Like, you know, good or bad or whatever, or indifferent. It's just, it's public knowledge. Yeah.
And because of The Athletic and the New York Times, we know that during your playing days, you were notoriously frugal too. And we haven't had a chance to bring this up in public, but you were on your family's cell phone plan and you'd been in the MLB for how long?
Yeah, long time. Probably like 5 or 6 years. Yeah, in the MLB, probably making over $1 million, and still my dad's paying for my phone.
Yes.
And you did
Honestly,
something.
I don't think he knew. I don't think he knew. It just like
I was even thinking about it.
he's like, I don't understand why our phone bill's so much. You know, like,
Why do we have 6 lines?
yeah. Well, they're paying like $400 for their cable or something, so they have no idea what's going on.
That's
I mean, that's cable and internet's about $400.
It's expensive.
It's ridiculous. But you had that. You don't DoorDash, which is a good thing. You know, you didn't do that. You're like, we'll go pick it up. We don't need to spend $20 for 2 double cheeseburgers from McDonald's. Did you are you passing some of that knowledge on to the new clients too? You're like, listen, you might want to think about this.
That article was great. And the writer, I like her a lot. She wrote a great article, but she left out the other half of the conversation, I thought, that I had conveyed, which was, yes, I'm frugal in some areas, like DoorDash. I'll go pick it up to save a couple bucks here or there. Yeah. Or, okay, maybe I was on my parents' phone bill for a little too long. But there's other areas where I spend and there's no limit, like travel or experiences or entertainment or going out with friends. Like those things don't have any limit. So like for me, it was always just picking your priority of where you want to spend. It's that give and take. If I want to go on a really nice trip, okay, I'll try to cut corners on the stuff that I don't really care about. So like that's what I was trying to say. She basically just said that I was frugal in every aspect of my life. But
you were wearing cheap shoes until your wife threw them away.
I had holes in my tennis shoes. I had a used car until the AC blew out, and then I finally got a new car. Yeah. But no, I think the idea was I was trying to say that it's funny how people pick and choose the areas that they spend a lot in or are cheap and frugal in, you know.
Oh yeah.
Everyone has their priorities and their list of things that, you know what, I'm gonna hit it big here. Like if I go on a vacation, if me and Jenna and the kids go on a vacation, we'll pay for convenience. We'll pay for a nicer room. We'll pay, you know, and have the experience. But then when we come home, I'll cook dinner most nights because I don't want to order out. Yeah.
Yep. Well, it's
tighten it up a little bit. It's
brutal.
Yeah, a little tight. Well, especially now. Now I'm not making big league money anymore. You really need to figure it out.
It's different. Now, TJ, I had to ask you this. Now that you're retired as a former athlete, are you one of these guys that just like has to work out? Or like 2-3 years from now, are you going to have a beer belly? I need the delineation here because we were just at the Ozzy ceremony. Some of these guys look like they're still in shape. Joe Creedy does not. So I want to see what path you're going to potentially go down here.
So I'd say, what is it, August? It's been about a year, closing in on a year since I've trained. And I wanted to do that. I wanted to get a dad bod. I wanted to not care about my body. I wanted to kind of eat what I wanted. And I think it's getting to the point now where like I'm feeling sluggish and slow and tired. So yeah, I think I'm gonna start working.
Welcome aboard.
First off, bullshit. This is straight bullshit because he came running into the pool with his brother and everything, and was running. And you're like, this is an athlete. And then he also, if he says he's fat, I was like, I wish I was fat like that. That's the kind of fat I want to be.
You want to be that kind of fat.
I want to be athletic. I just got done with a big long MLB career fat TJ McFarland. That's what I want. That's what you want. I'll take that.
I would describe it. So I've been telling guys lately, it's like I just feel like a marshmallow. You know, like everything just went soft. And then like what I would describe my body looking like is Men in Black, those worms. I got like a worm body. It's like skinny fat. Like I'm not fat, but like I kind of have a belly and it's just all over the place right now. I got to tighten it up.
Man, you
But
stop.
no,
You
it's
just
a good
stop.
question though, because some guys go like to the nth degree the other way, right? They train really hard and they almost are in better shape than they were playing.
Yep.
Then some guys, it's like the floodgates open up. It's like a kid that never did anything in high school and now he goes to college and he's like, "Oh man, I could do whatever I want."
Right,
You know?
yeah.
It's just so it's
no more smoothies.
Yes,
Only
milkshakes.
We're gonna get into the labor struggle. Chorizo, do you got any questions on life after baseball?
No. My only question was about knowing you, which was I felt
that's
was
the only question.
a downside to life after baseball. But go ahead with the labor struggle thing. I'll probably have some questions here.
We're gonna talk some labor struggle here, and you're as a former player, we would love to know your take on the labor issue that we are going to face in this offseason.
It's going to be brutal. It's going to be hard. It's it doesn't look great from now. It doesn't. There's going to be a lockout. Of course, everyone knew that. But I think there's a line that's going to be drawn in the sand, and it's going to be, a game of posture of who blinks first. And I think the owners are willing to miss games. Hopefully the players are too, to kind of get what they want. But no, I think it's going to be a fight. It's going to be worse than what we had. What was it, 2022, when it was like right up to the cusp.
Yeah.
It is interesting though, like the strategy wise, I don't know exactly the date, but there is a date where the owners start actually losing TV revenue. Okay. I don't know if it's in July. I don't know how many games it is, but the games they miss early on, I don't think they get clipped too hard.
Okay.
Once they hit a certain threshold, that's when they start eating into their own pocket. And then that's when things will actually get serious with their talks, I think. On top of that, I think everything's for TV revenue, right? So like you have all these new contracts coming in. Do the owners want to miss a year right before renegotiating all these TV contracts that could potentially be less because of it? So it'll be interesting. But no, I think the union's doing a great job with combating everything. It's a lose-lose for them in terms of the social media and the media presence and trying to get goodwill. Nobody really, nobody really cares. It's billionaires versus millionaires. You can't complain when you're making that kind of money. But the principle of it is still there. I think there is a competitiveness imbalance that they need to figure out a way to solve that. Is it a cap? Maybe. We're in a soft cap right now. And it seems like teams are blowing through it, and some teams are using it as a cap. Some teams in the offseason for free agency are just saying, listen, we don't have any money left. Well, it's like if teams are doing that, then that's a cap.
It's acting like it. Yeah.
We'll see how that is. The union's latest proposal was interesting. If you guys looked at that, I thought that's the closest to what it should be, which is essentially it's kind of a semi cap. It's just a little bit of a harder cap, but then there's a floor that ends up releasing revenue when teams hit a certain amount. I think that's the only way to kind of force all the teams to spend accordingly.
When you think about the revenue though, and like you think about the disparity in some of this, does it seem to you, and maybe I'm biased just because I'm on the player side and you're a player, like that this is like a problem between the owners. This is not a problem. The players kind of have nothing to do with it. When you're like, oh, this team makes way more than this other team. It's like, well, figure out how to share it then, guys. Like that's on you. That's not on the players. Don't have any part of that.
Yeah. No, I said this conversation with a guy the other day. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's like the owners need to come together to figure out how to best suit themselves and the best to operate their business, and then you can decide on how it affects the players. But no, with the competitive side of it, the players agreeing to a hard cap on their salaries because the Dodgers are deciding to spend more money has nothing to do with the players. Like.
Right.
Have more teams share the money. Like the lower market teams should look at the Dodgers and should be like, you need to share more in order for us to compete. That's what it should be. It shouldn't be players' pockets that end up decreasing as a result of it. It would be like asking laborers to pay for the owners to then it doesn't make any sense. Why would the players pay for the owners to then have a better league? It's weird.
If there's a comment here from Uncle Ted, and he says this collapse of TV deals guaranteed money, and that still is an owner's problem, right? Because that's like, you got to figure out how to monetize your product, right? And if there's one public team that we could look at and say, okay, we're seeing how they monetize it. They're using the ballpark village to make a lot of their money. That's where they can find a lot of money. And you look at that, and then you hear like, hey, we're going to do a revenue-based cap. I mean, TJ, do you believe that the owners will say, within that revenue-based cap, part of the revenue is going to be the ballpark village? We're going to give you that money too. That's going to be involved.
So that's where I almost like agree with the owners, right? If you have real estate, if you have business risk outside, like if ballpark village doesn't work, they are under that, right? Like they committed money to that. The players are not. So that's where I think the line gets drawn. I think where anything inside the stadium that directly affects the players should be revenue. Anything outside, which is the real estate, maybe casinos, sports books, stuff like that, as tough as it is to say, they bear the risk of that, not the players. So yes, I mean, like the Cubs, right? They spent a whole bunch of money building up that real estate around the area. I don't know if the players should have their hand in that revenue unless they're bearing some of the risk too, which is real estate risk. Like they're not. They're shielded from that. That's exactly what a business owner takes on.
The counter would be that they are the only ones generating money for that, though, right?
True.
Like, because
they are the product.
With Wrigley, you got a little bit of a different situation, right? Because Wrigley's it's in the city. It's a neighborhood. Like, imagine if KC did that outside of their park. There's nothing over there.
Like, no one would go to it.
The Royals got to win, or that place is going to be empty, right? Like, so I think there is still, even in that, there's going to be. I think that's where there's going to be a lot of problems when it gets to that, which makes me just like very nervous about like if they're doing any type of revenue-based cap. Like, I don't see how it works. I don't see how that everybody comes together and goes, yes, this is a fair. Fair.
We believe that's revenue right there.
Right. And that's what NBA does, right? So the NBA, if you guys are familiar with the cap that they have, what ends up happening is if they don't hit the revenue that they projected, there's 15%, roughly 15% of every contract goes into escrow, and then it either gets released or it doesn't. Obviously, the league wants to continue to grow and get their revenue to a certain point. So more often than not, does it goes through that threshold. So then the money gets released, everything's good. But essentially, their money gets held hostage until the revenue hits a certain point. What's included in that revenue is the whole argument. It is everything. If you're not including certain things, or you're excluding things, or you're including like player benefits or travel or meals, that starts deducting off of the hard cap. So there's so many. I just think it's impossible to be able to like index that revenue number to be able to jump off of it. It's going to be really hard to do that, and the owners won't push. They've never opened their books. Nobody knows how much they're actually making.
Exactly.
Which in many ways helps their business and helps their evaluations for PE when they come in. But how are we supposed to ever determine a fair revenue split if you're not telling us exactly the revenue you're making? We have no idea.
Yeah. And the only ones we have any insight into is the Atlanta one because they're publicly traded. Right. But Beef, you can tell us how cooked corporate books are.
I mean, obviously, you can depending on the vessels or business units, you can push revenue to one or another, depending and make excuses why it should flow through there. And so you mentioned the ballpark village, Chorizy, and like I imagine if the ballpark villages were excluded, it would be an extreme version of that. You would have every team. The inside would be either break even or negative, and the outside would be all the profit and would let it flow there. And you could always structure a business to kind of flow in the directions you want to. I mean, within reason. There's you can't just do whatever you want, but like, it gets to be a little sketchy area right there as to kind of what should feed what. So, bizarre. But as TJ is saying, they never open their books. We don't really know what any of that looks like in there, except for the one team that has to show.
Right.
Yeah, I want to see the books. The books would be fun. That would be a fun experiment.
I think everyone wants to see the books.
Yeah, because I mean, as soon as you hear this, like Ishbia coming in with the Sox, they're like, oh, he's paying down all these debts. He's paying all these debts down. And you're like, why is he paying down debts? Like, what? How are you not making money on this thing? Like, and I joke about this. We've joked about this. We have a podcast, and we figured out how to make money. If I had the chain of an MLB team, I feel like I could probably make some money. I could figure out some things to make some money, like and do it. Like fucking have a Pope night every fucking week. You know, like that's all you got to do.
That's a solution.
That's all you got to do.
That was an amazing promo, by the way.
Incredible, just incredible.
So
it is.
Were you guys by Father Tom Hurley?
No,
we were not close to him in stands. He was on the other side of the stadium.
He married me and Jenna. I got married by Father Hurley.
No way.
Really?
That's
I
awesome.
saw him on Instagram. I was like, what the heck? That's my priest. That's my guy.
When he told everyone to give a sign of peace, though, the place erupted. I mean, it was
Yeah,
that was crazy.
He's the man.
It was. I talked with Mike Downey, who's their marketing guy, and who is the genius behind all of this kind of stuff, right? With him and his team, and he said to me, he was like, yeah, I want to do it, but because I was like, you gotta do this every year. He's like, we want to do it, but we also don't want it to come off tacky, and I don't want it to come off as like profiting from a religion and doing this stuff. And I said, brother, you got no blowback on this, and this was the most popular it's ever going to be. You guys did it right. You handled it with mittens, and you just did it. There was enough religious stuff, like the Southpaw dressed like the Pope. I'm like, we're fucked. They're fucked now. They got Southpaw as a Pope. Like we're in trouble. But no one said a word, and I'm like, I like this. And the sign of peace, dude. Everyone was fist bumping in 108 and just doing it, and it was like. It felt good. Like, and I was also maybe a little high, but I was very enjoying.
If you're not getting high on Pope night, you know what night?
That's right.
Listen, had to get to the gym the next day. I can't be hung over, you know, from church wine. I just got to pop a couple, you know, Jesus edibles, and then I'm good to go. Like it is. I'm ready to go.
I still say $5 Blood of Christ on $5 Tuesday would have been lit. I would have had a couple little wines. I would have had a couple little wines if I took.
DJ, is there something with the labor struggle that you think is probably one of the most important issues that no one is talking about at this point?
You know, I don't know if there's a solution to this, but what I've always there's been a string of probably more often than not the last couple of years of young players signing decent long-term extensions. It's happened quite a bit. I think more than not in the last 5 years. But I think the owners are anticipating a massive spike in revenue from gambling. I think gambling is going to be a massive thing where they're going to get okayed or cleared to have sportsbook inside stadiums. They're going to have in-game betting. There's going to be some kind of technology to be able to do. They're already trying to do it with the robot umpire, the ball and strike.
Yep.
They go 100% robot umpire. You can now gamble on ball and strike. You can have in-game pitch-by-pitch betting that is structured, not just subjective from the umpire. So I think what they're trying to do is line everything up for as much action during an inning, which is why they got rid of shifts. They want more hits. They want more contact. They're kind of tightening up the zone. Like they just want more action. And I think it's gambling revenue. So I think what everybody is so focused on is this cap and trying to figure out the competitive balance between all the teams. Meanwhile, the owners are probably going to be seeing billions of new revenue depending on what, you know, the wins will probably get in there. What other big casino could just spend some money to get in there? And I think that'll end up like exploding all the revenue that makes all of these contracts that all these young guys just signed pennies on the dollar, because now they're making so much more money than what they were making before. But I mean, that's so far. There's no basis to that. That's just me, you know, sharing my opinion, having a scotch or two, you know, like that's not anything that
I think it's very grounded. I mean, I think if you look at it, they're going hard to try and weed out people who are cheating, right? Like so Class A is going to get the worst, right? Like because you got to make that example. They made a deal with Polymarket. Polymarket lives on the fringe of legality, and their Polymarket is the prediction market of the MLB. Like they did not hesitate to do that. So I agree with you that they are all in on this. They want that to be a major part of the revenue.
Right.
So I think you're 100% right here. That's a great call.
Just the revenue explosion in the next couple of years is going to be telling for sure. And then what's going to end up happening is if we settle, and I say we, I'm not part of the union anymore. If the union settles on some kind of deal with the same structure that we have now, it's going to limit how much. It's almost going to act as a cap, because now the owners are making so much money that those luxury tax thresholds don't matter anymore. Like it's just, I don't know. You're essentially setting a speed limit on a road that cars are already at Ferrari. Like it's just, it doesn't make any sense if that revenue explosion happens. So hopefully they're able to kind of curtail that, or at least get a piece of it. I want the players to be able to take on a little bit of that too, right? Like let them enjoy a little bit.
They should get
some of the spoils in it.
Yeah.
And they won't get a taste if there's a cap, right? The cap eliminates that. But I think to your point, TJ, I think the players, at least the union, has kind of recognized this, because one of their, I saw one of the things that they put out was about going, let's get rid of this kind of pitch by pitch stuff, because and the in-game props, because players are getting a lot of blowback about like, hey, you didn't get this in this at bat, F you, which is a weird way to go about it. But you could see that they're going in that direction, going, we're going to try and pull public sentiment away from these, because we know that that's kind of what you want underneath. Right. So I think I definitely think you're onto something there. And I think there's some tea leaves there to be read. So I like this train of thought. I'm a big gambler, so I hope that gambling stays. But
more of it.
But I don't need the pitch by pitch stuff. I don't need like that. Like,
no, we're drinking during all that stuff. Yeah. We don't need to gamble on that.
That's also not. That's for the real degens. That's
you're
not for
you're
us.
Also not like DMing Chase Mydroff when he doesn't get that home run.
Of course not.
That you bet,
of course,
I'm going to kill you.
Like out in the game.
But TJ, I am sorry for the DMs I sent you about some of your. No, I'm just kidding.
That was you. Yeah.
Now, TJ, I do have a question. Now, a lot of the stuff that's come out, like kind of the early proposals and stuff, a lot of the things that sound reasonable to me are kind of favoring the players a little bit. So kind of increasing the league minimums for guys, shortening the window to getting to free agency, because as we're seeing, like the aging curve is changing. As you mentioned, the game's speeding up. Younger players are taking hold quicker and careers are shorter. As players age off a lot faster than they did when we were growing up. And we had a bunch of guys who are 40 in the league. You don't have any of that shit right now. What do the players have to offer in exchange for some of these concessions that I think will make the game better? But you can't get a concession with nothing. You got to give something to the other side. So what do the players in theory have to offer here for this?
That's the problem. I think the players have gone down a road where they've backed themselves into a corner, and their only option is to sit out, is to threaten we're not playing, or in this case, I guess they're going to lock out. Not necessarily a strike, but they'll lock out, and then the players won't agree, and then you'll just not play any games. It's interesting you say that, because there was a time many years ago, probably like 8 or 9 years ago, where I kind of asked that question. Like, I'm not suggesting that we impose a salary cap, but the road that we're going down right now, that's the only holy grail offering that we have to be able to get all the things you just mentioned. Right. Maybe we can get 2 years of ARB. Maybe we can get 4 seasons and then free agency. Maybe we can get a higher minimum. Obviously a hard cap or a salary cap will prevent it's salary suppression. So you don't want it, but maybe you're able to change the structure, the economics of baseball as we know it. And we didn't do that. All the players did was kind of incrementally change things and just push the shit down the road. Essentially, that's what they did. Like they never really changed anything for the better. And then the owners they're well prepared, they're well armed, they have a lot of money in their disposal. They have probably better lawyers because they have more money, and they're able to find these loopholes. It doesn't matter what we impose, they're always going to wiggle out of something. It's just go to show. So like the last CBA, this is just a small one, but arbitration ended up being guaranteed, or at least we thought it was. What ended up happening was within the first year, if you remember, I think it was J.D. Davis with the Giants. He ended up getting an arbitration contract. He didn't sell it, went to arbitration, and ended up winning. But because he went to arbitration, there was a loophole in the contract that I guess nobody really realized, or maybe the union did and didn't say anything, that it wasn't guaranteed. So then when he got released in spring training, everybody was like, wait a second, like we thought we fought for guarantees on arbitration, and then it was not. So the only
I remember seeing that.
I remember that we were like, what happened here? Like, that's weird.
How does that work?
So and those are like the little, that's like the gray area that the owners just know how to wiggle into. They just find every crack, every crevice, and they figure out a way to, that's just what they do, you know? And it's not because they're malicious. It's a business owner. It's trying to find profit or an edge or leverage when there isn't any. That's what you do as a business owner. But it was just interesting because that was one of the conversations they had. Yeah.
I feel like some of those owners are a little malicious, TJ. I'll say it for you. I mean, some guys definitely are looking for that.
Well, if you're owning a baseball team and you don't want to win, like, what are you doing then? You know, like,
right?
Why do you have this? Yeah.
Just win. Spend some money and win. Like, it's more fun winning, isn't it? Like,
oh my God.
Should be more profitable too. Like,
way more profitable.
100%. Yeah.
So,
yeah, right.
Go ahead. Have you got anything else on labor, guys? You got anything else on labor?
No.
All right.
No, I think
now we're going to talk White Sox baseball. Have you been watching the White Sox this year, TJ? Because you are a Sox fan, right?
I'm 100% a Sox fan. Always have been. Never got rid of it. Southside for sure. Yeah, I've been enjoying watching them. They are overachieving. Honestly, I wouldn't say I had doubts in the beginning of the year. But there was a few aspects of their game that I was like, well, that's not going to last. And it did. And it has. And they've done fantastic. So, yeah, I kind of ate a little bit of my words there early on. But, no, they're fantastic. Did great at the trade deadline. I think they did some great moves. I don't think it was like massive blockbusters, but it improved their team, and they're doing well. They got a big span here coming up, though, right? Like a lot
16 games in a row. Yep.
This is the make or break, I think. Yeah.
And Davis Martin seems like he broke today. So he just did not have the day today that we needed. But apparently, he had a blister on his hand. He couldn't get a grip.
Allegedly, that's why he hit. Who's it? Sal Stewart. He hit the head.
Sal Stewart.
No, we were all at this game. It was obviously not on purpose.
The context of the game kind of tells you that was not on purpose, right? Like he's not up one run going like, I'm hitting this guy in the head. Fuck this guy.
And the ball had spin. It was obviously not a
I get
yeah, right. I mean, you don't want to get in the head, so I get why you reacted the way you reacted. I get it, but he didn't do it on purpose. You know that. Like,
I get the umpire looking at a situation going, all right, I saw one sail by his head and then one hit him in the head. Bench is clear. I got to do something. And like, so I kind of get the umpire even. I don't agree with it. I don't think that he was doing anything malicious, but I could see where the umpire's coming from on that one.
That's tough, man. It's early on too. What inning was it?
I think it was the
third.
Was it third?
It was the third inning.
It
was a third inning.
Yeah, and then you throw it. It's in within the same week of Venable going out there twice and having you just crushing the bullpen. As a bullpen guy, that's all I think about. It's like the guy comes out the
those
third.
Poor guys.
Those poor guys out there. Yeah.
Well, speaking of bullpen, how much did you love the Brazoban move where you're like, let's get in a guy that throws like 60% ground balls? That's the guy we need.
I love it. What's the defense though, right? Is White Sox top? Yeah.
They're good. They're strong.
If you look at the variance between the White Sox and what the Mets were, and in the Castillo scenario, the White Sox versus the Mariners, who are way bottom. The defense has improved quite a bit behind them.
I like it. I like those moves because it helps. I feel like it helps alleviate some of that stress from the other aspects of the bullpen, right? So you bring in some guys that are more veteran guys that have some experience, especially with Castillo, and then you put him in the center of this rotation, and people feed off of him. You know, he has this presence on the mound that all these younger guys. I say younger guys. A couple of them have been in the league now for a couple of years, but still relatively younger, not in this I mean, you start getting into the dog days of August, and then you get into real meaningful baseball in September. You'll find out real quick who puckers up. You know what I mean? Like you'll find out real quick who has it and who doesn't, or who's gonna, piss down their leg when the game's on the line. It is. It's a tough atmosphere when you've been winning all year, and then maybe you go on a little bit of a skid, and then now all of that doubt starts creeping in. It's important to have those guys in that clubhouse, like a Castillo, like a Brazaban, like guys that have been there, that have been in the heat, that have gone through that ups and downs to help kind of push that team along and get back on the right track, because it can derail you very fast.
Have you heard anything working, baseball adjacent, sports adjacent, about like any inside info about what's going on within the White Sox front office to have this turnaround happen? Like we've heard from outside sources that, people, the attitude towards the Sox agents, all that has changed since this Will Venable's been there. And then second half of last year, people are more receptive to sending their clients to the Sox or looking, twice at the Sox versus before it was like, no, you don't want to go there unless they're going to pay you the most amount of money.
Getz came in there and started to kind of right the ship. He did well. He had, what was it, like 1 or 2 seasons where it was like, oh shoot, what's going on? And then, in Getz we trust, I guess, but Venables did a great job. A younger manager that can resonate with some players, that probably allows them to be, the Mike Vassals and be able to kind of mess around in the dugout, loosen everybody up. You need that. And they're responding well to it. I haven't really heard anything about the front office and like what exactly is, in the Kool-Aid over there. But I do know they have a shitload of prospects in AAA. That team's fantastic. I happen to know the manager in AAA, and he's a great guy. I would imagine he'd be up in the big leagues at some point in the next year or so. Chad Pinder, he's great dude. He would fit in on the South Side for sure, absolutely. But yeah, I think it's just a bunch of young talent. I don't know exactly where they got all that young talent. I don't know if it was draft. I don't know if it was trades. But they certainly, they've landed on some trades that have done really well, and I think that just sets you up. But yeah, it's nice to see, though. I mean, winning baseball on the South Side hasn't been a thing in a couple of years.
Oh,
right.
Even when it was. You got anything, Pat?
Even just thinking about what we're gonna do in October, as opposed to like, hey, where are we going to dinner in October? Yeah. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome.
Fun. Man, there's nothing more fun than meaningful baseball towards like middle of September. It's a different beast, like it's just so much fun.
And for the Sox, I mean, it's utterly important for them to be good in that month, because when the Bears start playing, that stadium will just, we've seen it. I mean, we've been there, sitting in there. That stadium empties out. And like, not like just on Sunday, like people are like, oh, Saturday, we're going to watch college football, or Friday, we're doing something else.
If they're in it, though, you don't think that'll change? You don't think that'll?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why winning's so important. Like, it's going to be packed. It's going to be packed all September. I can't wait.
No, that's fun. Yeah, it's just fun. It's fun to see that group of guys succeed too, because like, I don't know, it seems like a great group, like guys that just pull for each other. The true sense of the word team, like they all just come together. Everybody, there's no like big superstar, or at least in any given moment, someone can step up. Those are the teams that you pull for. Those are the teams that you want to see win.
Yeah. And in that TJ, like you've been around a lot of different teams, different levels of success. Like, is there a such thing? Because we talk about it and we're on the outside looking in. Is there a such thing as like, these guys are too young to know that they're not supposed to be able to do this?
Yes. Yeah, there's absolutely a thing where like they're too young and oblivious to even realize like how big of a spot they're in right now. Like how detrimental the next 18 games are. They're probably just like, let's just go play another game, like let's just, and that's the mentality that you have to have. But with experience, with time in the league, that's when you start to kind of overthink things. So maybe they're in that sweet spot where they just don't even think about it,
where they don't even know the rules of the Rule 5 draft.
No, they have no idea. Exactly. They don't even know the rules. I'm here. Yeah.
But Chorizy, I had a similar question because it does seem like TJ, you mentioned it, and I was one of the foolish people. As much as I long term am very bullish on this group right here, I wasn't sure they'd get good this fast, and I bet under on their win total this year, which is they're gonna crash through that shortly. But can a team that maybe doesn't have the talent base that we expected, but started out well and did well to start the season, can that confidence level kind of push them through to hold the 2.5 game lead in the division? Like, because I wonder how much of it is like, well, we got here, so yeah, tough shit. We maybe we outshot our skis earlier in the year, but we can still make it now. Is that possible?
Yes. What it takes is somebody in that clubhouse, kind of like what I was saying before, that will be able to recognize the moment that they're about to have, the stretch that they're about to have, the long, like, I guess, what is it, the 13th? So like in about a month, you'll know if they've come out of it. And you need, like, that team needs to rally together. They need to have the wizard come out. They need to have all of those things to be able to keep them on track. They should never change who they are because of that. And there might be a moment where they're actually not in the lead of the division, and that's the most telling. If they lose that lead and then they just bail, it's because their confidence got hit so hard that now they're plummeting, right? Like, that's what happens with young guys. That's what happens with the A's. The A's, both years in 24 and 25, I should say 25 and 26. 24 is pretty bad, but 25 and 26, really high highs, doing really well. I think they started off like 22 and 16, 23 and 15, somewhere around there, kind of over their skis, beating people they shouldn't be. And the moment that they struggled, the moment that they had a skid, it was really low lows. It's because younger guys don't know how to withstand that ebb and flow of a season, which is you're going to go through those. You have to stay even keel. Like, you can't be too high. You can't be too low. You stay who you are. You know who you are. You have perspective. And older guys are able to kind of instill that with the younger guys. The younger guys fly by the seat of their pants, right? Like, they just like, everything's going good. Let's just fucking go all the way up, baby. Let's go. And then the moment that they struggle, they want to say, like, ditch everything. Everything's useless. Let's go back to somewhere else. And then that's when shit hits the fan. So it's like, if you can maintain right in the middle of that, I think they'll be all right. But yes, I think that confidence can stay. But we'll see. I mean, there's no way that they're going to maintain 2 games the entire time. That'd be really hard to do. They're going to be tested at some point where they're going to probably dip or be tied. And then that's when you're going to see them come and step up and then take the lead again. It's just, it's a better story that way too, I think.
That description too just told me why you like the Luis Castillo trade so much. Like that, because I'm thinking of that rotation, and their rotation's hitting rough times right now. And a veteran coming in to right that ship seems like, just from a not so much from a just he's gonna be great every start, but from a guys,
we got this.
There's still so many games left.
We're good.
we gotta roll.
Okay.
And I guess what we see, well, I see, especially today, they look like shit today. Like, they just did not look, pitching looked horrible. But the offense picked up, and they were not out of that game, even though they were score-wise, it looked really bad at one point, and then they just start chipping away. And I agree with you, Chorizy and TJ, with the, like, they're just too young to understand, that where they're at, right? But also, none of those guys, like a Mydroff, a guy that comes through, is very, like, I want to say clutch, but definitely delivers. Sam Antonacci are not these guys that were highly touted recruits, and no one was like, oh, this is the guy you need on your team. But those are exactly the guys that we needed on this team. A Tristan Peters, a guy that does backflips and catches baseballs, which I don't know if he actually did that. But like that guy became an all-star. Like, there's so much good, like, vibes right now within all this stuff. And I guess if I had seen him play like shit, like, because they had 2 bad games this week, but neither one of those games, they or 2 losses, neither one of those games were like a bad, like, total bad. They're like, we could have probably won that game. If one thing would have went one way, you could have won it. And that kind of gives me hope that like this was not a thinly built house of cards that was going to collapse at any moment. Like there is something there because they keep fighting. And Loaf, you've been saying it for a year. They play through the whistle. They continue to go to the end of this game, of those games. And it's so much fun for three guys that like, well, a lot of guys, but these three here that sat there and watched 121 losses to like go and say, okay, now we are actually here. You know, we got ridiculed for re-signing and getting more season tickets. And why are you still showing up to this game? Why are you doing this? And it's like, now everyone wants to be there, you know, like that's why we suck it out. You know, you're like, we still like doing this. We still like doing all this stuff. So it's just been a great turnaround this year. At any point, are you pissed that despite my best efforts, I texted Brooks Boyer in the marketing department. I told Chris Getz, I told Rick Hahn, I said, we need to sign TJ McFarland for at least one season, throw him in the bullpen. Are you mad that the White Sox never rolled the dice and had Return of the Mac on their team?
Absolutely. This turnaround could have happened 2 years ago had they signed him.
Yes. Love it.
But I guess they like they like the drama. They like the build up a turnaround. But oh man, it would have been so cool to play at home though. It would have been, especially later in my career, not early. Yeah. I think early on it would have been. I think it would have been out of the league a little too early. But,
yeah, that makes sense.
Just come in, just throw you in there for a little bit. You'd be fine. You could have been there. I really wanted to have happen. I really wish that would have happened. And I know there was one chance you had to, or you're close to potentially the Cubs. And that would have broke my heart.
That would have been horrible.
It would have been really cool for you to play in Chicago. But my God, like it's a bummer that that never happened. We tried. I tried too. I tried hard. I even told my agent, I was like, tell him I'll play, hometown discount. Like I'll just not that I was even that expensive to begin with. Maybe minor league money. I'll go play over there for a year. I don't care. I just want to be home and play. Wake up in my own bed and then go and pitch later in the night. Like that'd be incredible. Well, TJ, we want to thank you. You guys, you have anything else?
Absolutely. No,
thank you.
This has been great.
Thank you very much for coming on. And maybe because you're so excited to talk baseball when we get ready to take this playoff run. As a person that has 2 playoff season experiences, like you have 2 seasons here in the playoffs, but you also got to travel with the Orioles when they were in the playoffs. You've been around playoff baseball. We might have to bring you back in as an expert for playoffs when the Sox make the playoffs, and you can tell us how we should do it.
Well, those 2 appearances I have in the playoffs really make me an expert. So please phone a friend when you need answers to those questions. I'll have all the answers for you. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you coming on, TJ, and we'll see you soon, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks, guys. This was awesome.
Thanks so much, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. That was great.
That was great. Fantastic.
It was good stuff. Man,
he was great on that. And, for the playoffs, he'd be great too. But you know what he'd be great for? 108 day. Get that guy in person.
Oh, yes.
I'll feed him as many scotches as he wants for that interview.
On stage, that would be great. You're right. I agree.
Man, he can definitely hang with us, right? Like,
yeah. I'd love to have him into 108. That'd be epic. That would be an epic day. This has been very like, hey, until I saw him, I was like, I don't know what to say. Like, we got extra tickets. Do you want to come? You want to come back? Because maybe you don't want to come back. Maybe you want to be like, hey, give me a couple of years, and then I'll come back and go do that stuff. I don't need to do this right now. I've been doing that like half my life. I don't want to do that anymore. I'll do something different. But no, it was good. It was when he was so excited to want to do this too. I was like, this is great. We need to do this. So thank you, boys, for letting me.
That was awesome.
Kind of like, just a little bit run the interview process. I'm not very good.
That was awesome.
MSS. I love when you stop that right now, MSS. I love when you're like passionate about wanting to do an interview and you're like, I'm ready. I'm going to run this thing. And it's like, I just get out of your way. And then I get in where I fit in. I enjoyed the fun. That was great.
Well, I appreciate that. And it was, I could have done better. I was like, I should have had a game. I should have had this, but I was like, my fucking kids have been up my ass for 2 fucking weeks. So I just can't, I got no time. We got to
redo the meme. We got to redo the meme of him where he says his kids doing everything.
Blame your kids for anything, MSS.
That was a good interview. What are you talking about? That was great.
Brutal. It was brutal.
You have an advertisement ready for us right now.
I kind of do, but I kind of don't. And what I want you guys to do is to go to 108.ing/merch and pick up one of these limited edition game used cards benefiting our friends at Lost Boys Inc. We cut a skin tight jersey that BeefLoaf wore to the Chris Sale game when he diced up all of the jerseys, or just dice up 3 jerseys so they would not wear the retro uniform. We are going to take 100% of the proceeds from that card and put it in to the Lost Boys coffers, and they can spend it however they want. They can do whatever they want. So go over there. There's only 49 of them. I think I got half of them left. You should buy 1, buy 2. You can max out on donation like people have been doing at $25 each. Like, we've raised a lot of money so far for that. But we want to get to 1,000, and we're close. We could definitely get to 1,000. That will definitely happen if everyone can just sell a little or buy a little more. But yeah, that's what I got this week. I don't have any new shirts. We have no new shirts yet. We got new shirt ideas, and we got a couple that are ready to go. But I got to take down that Chris Sale demolition shirt, the jersey demolition, before we put anything else up there. But people keep buying that shirt. So it's hard for me to take something down when somebody keeps buying. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. So we'll see. We got some new stuff coming. Just keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open.
All right. Now it's time for a little White Sox talk.
There we go.
MSS, you look great in that. You're
Thanks.
a great bobblehead image. But we talked about this a little bit in the tub. But I know that not everybody wants to watch us slosh around in the hot tub with our shirts off. So with our shirts on now, let's talk a little bit about the Ozzie Guillen number retirement ceremony. And Beef, I'll start with you. You've been so quiet tonight. It's weird.
He has been quiet. He has been quiet.
You know what?
Am I usually a blabbermouth or what? Like I was laying back in the cut. The questions were flowing nice. I'm just listening.
You're just so loud that usually by now my woofers are blown, and so it's surprising to still have the hearing I do right now.
You know what? I mean, a couple of things hit me with regards to the ceremony. One, and we have had Chuck Garfien on here, and we gave him his flowers for how good of a job he does in the pre and post game show with Ozzie. I compare it to like Ernie Johnson, kind of lassoing in Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal and those guys. And I think he obviously does a great job of that. He was a terrific MC. They should have let him talk more, and they shouldn't even had the other players come up there and say too much. Give the players 2 minutes and yank them off the stage like it's a goddamn award ceremony. I was like, because he was so good. And there was a lot of funny stuff in there. And the thing is, they have the rapport where he can break bad on Ozzie and then also on himself. And it's like, it's comedy. People are very interested in it. So I think I haven't heard a lot of it out there. Like I tweeted something about it, but otherwise I haven't heard much about it. I thought he was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, he was great.
The other thing I was thinking about with regards to Ozzie, and I don't know if this guy's crossed you guys' mind, but like I was thinking like during his tenure as a player, he was kind of generally loved, Chorizy. And I know for, Latino kids, especially ones like us growing up in Bridgeport, he was kind of like a role model in ways. Like that was the Latino player that was famous and good on his team. And then when he got to it, and I remember when he had the injury, and everyone was heartbroken when he the knee injury, and everyone was heartbroken he was out for period or whatever. Then his managerial tenure, despite the title, I felt like there were a lot of people that had problems with him, just generally in the fan base. His brashness, his opinionatedness. He's fighting with the front office. He ends up running or getting run out of town and having to go to Miami and rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. There was just a lot of shit where it was like people weren't really on the Ozzie Guillen side. And then it flipped back over when he came back and was doing pre and post because he became the voice of the real fan because he could criticize these guys and do it in a hilarious way. And you sort of felt, Ozzie's telling the truth out there. No one in this organization's telling the truth about this team. They're all like pumping tires, but he's the one guy who can say the manager stunk or whoever stunk or whatever and is doing this thing. So I thought it was interesting that his public sentiment went back in the right direction from getting in the booth. I think that is the entire key to him actually getting his number retired and having a stadium packed with fucking people.
Yeah.
That thing was filled at 5:15 when they told us to be in our seats.
Yep.
There were 38,000 people in their goddamn seats. It was nothing like the 2005 weekend when we were like, do people notice this going on? There's like 4,000 people in the stadium for this shit.
Yeah.
Beef, to that point, to the packedness of it, the craziest shit was I was like, all right, I'm gonna get ahead of this. I reached out to our ticket rep and I was like, hey, we need some extra stadium club passes so like the whole crew could get in through the stadium club, because that's always the quicker.
Would have been
in.
clutch.
We got him. Thanks, Nick, for sending him. But we get in that line. That shit was long as hell too. We ended up getting out of that line and going through one of the regular gates because it was quicker. And it was just like the shit, like the amount of people that were there and the amount of people that were like, I have to be there early was incredible. And it's a testament to like just the career as a whole. But Beef, to your point, it had to get resurrected. Like if he never comes back as an announcer and the Miami stint is the end of it, like we're not doing this.
Nope.
You're not seeing this happen. But man, I'm glad that it all happened. Because I mean, like, Beef, me and you have seen Ozzy out in public. And this is between him being the announcer and being in Miami. And he's just Ozzy, man. Like he's at a table. He said we're in a bar, we're in Beer Bistro, which doesn't exist anymore. There's like Olympics are on. It's like Venezuela volleyball. He's at a table with like 10 people. They're all sitting. He's standing. He's like holding court, screaming at the TV. And me and Beef were like, we ain't going over there, but we got to do something. And we're like, hey, we tell our server, like, hey, could you send a round of drinks over to Ozzy and his table? And she was like, who's Ozzy? And we're like, that fucking guy. That fucking guy is Ozzy.
That's funny.
Did you do it? Did she do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he thanked us.
Our whole table.
I was
Okay,
wondering.
gave him the nods. But I was not going to bother him.
Yeah,
like
no.
He's with his family and stuff. Go do the thing. But if watching it from afar, you're like, yeah, like anything that you've ever heard about Ozzy, that's exactly the dude that was over there. There was no pretense. There was no like, oh, I'm in public, I better like do something different. No, it was the fucking guy that you saw in the dugout. It's the guy you saw on the field yelling at guys. You know, like that's the guy.
I agree with you on Chuck Garfine. I love Chuck's thing in there. I did like AJ's speech. I thought
AJ was good.
AJ did a great
could have
job.
been it, and that was fine. Because when Paulie came up and is like, hey, don't expect me to be as good as him, I was expecting Paulie to be very quick. And then he went on and did an 8-minute speech. You're like, what the fuck, dude? You just said, don't expect me to be this good. And then you went longer than the guy that was good. Like, no, like you can't do that. Don't do that, Paulie. Like that. I hadn't seen that bad of a Paul Konerko performance since the swinging at the first pitch at the Bananas game. Like that is the second time he's been back and been in a big public light, and he did a bad thing. So don't do that again, Paulie. God damn it. You're on 2 strikes. Now, I'll say this about Ozzy. I have met a lot of different people in the Sox organization as a fan, like trying to get autographs, trying to do this. Ozzy has never said, fuck you, I'm not signing your shit, and walked away. He's always signed. He signs for everybody, and he seems downright pleasant most of the time when he is talking to fans. He went, Mike, and our guy Jerry O'Sullivan is saying Paulie needed the hook from Showtime at the Apollo, and he is correct.
He really
is correct. Yeah. Paulie needed to go.
Tracy mentioned that in the tub as well. Like you guys are both very, very down on the Paulie the portion of the thing.
It was just a comparison to everything else. It was just you didn't need it. And to your point, Beef, like you don't need everybody to talk. Like
not everyone has to talk.
Exactly. And did you guys say it in the tub when Burley was like, asked Harold if he was talking, and Harold goes, no, and Burley goes, me neither. I'm not talking either. So I'm not going to do that. So Paulie should have done that too. But Ozzy also, everything, his reaction for everything and did this whole number retirement, and even his 30-minute long speech, he is still surprised and humbled that he got this. And he said it when we were on the boat. He said, I'm only a World Series manager because I had a good team. It wasn't because of anything I did. I just had good players in there. And that's, I think, exactly what you say when you're a good manager. Like he knew when to like take heat off of some of these guys, use 3-letter words for sports columnists in Chicago, like he knew what to do to like draw attention to himself so that his players could get right. And he's a player and a good player, wasn't even like a bad player, like a great player. And just, like going in and being a great manager then too. It was just, full circle. It was great. Well, loved it. It was a great weekend.
Yeah, I think I'll just wrap it up saying that, like, for me personally, Ozzy's probably, and I've said this on our podcast, other podcasts, Ozzy's probably my favorite player from the White Sox. Just growing up, that was my guy, and to see him get his jersey retired, it was awesome. It was just an awesome thing to see. And I looked around that park, and like, I'm not unique in that. I think there was a bunch of my Hispanic brothers and sisters that were more welled up than I was. So I would say that and literally, Beef, every Mexican I know was there. Like and I know he's Venezuelan. I'm just saying I know a lot of Mexicans.
That was like the thing too, Chorizy, is like all the Hispanic community is here. And look, we might infight a little bit, some of us or whatever. But no, we're on the same fucking side today. This is what makes it right. I agree with you, Chorizy. I have one question to close out the Ozzy section, though, is my question for you guys is, and the commenters too, I'd love to hear what you have to say. Who is the next number that gets retired for the White Sox? And does that happen in the timeline in which we're still season ticket holders? Because I was kind of looking around a little bit. I was like, who's next? Is there a next kind of in the short term?
I mean, the only one that really pops out is this number 79, and it's Jose Abreu. That's like probably the only one that I would even consider. I saw it, a blog, and they named 3 people. One of them was AJ, and I was like, listen, I like AJ too, but I don't know if he's at a stature to like get that number retired.
No,
there.
He's not.
And I don't think he's there. And the other one, I can't remember. Jenks was the other one. And that's iffy.
Yeah. That's,
right. Because
like I get the sentimentality,
right.
But he didn't have the career that kind of leads you to this kind of.
So you want to honor that guy, and you have. I feel like they've done a really good job honoring Bobby. But yeah, the Abreu is probably the closest one for me. What about you, Chorizo?
So I'll answer this a little differently. The one Beef that I thought of when I was watching all this go down and knowing that this was going to happen is like, there's one that I think was ruined by the managerial career instead of pushed to it, and that's Ventura.
Yeah.
Like 23 could have been on track to be in there, and I think the managerial career there kind of soured it. So I'm with MSS that like the one that I would see most likely to happen other than that is like 79. I think that one has a chance, but I think it's a long shot. And it's going to have to be a few years down the road. I think that it's not there right now. I think that it's tough to really look around at the teams that we've known and say like, this is somebody that was so special that like they need this treatment.
Right. I was thinking about that too, Chorizy, and I was trying, like, Abreu has the Rookie of the Year. Abreu has the MVP. So he's got hardware, like legit hardware. Led the league in RBIs a bunch of times. So like he's legit, like, of that quality of player. But I was like, Abreu played for so many bad teams. He, he has a little of the Harold Baines thing to you, except he was not part of the 83 White Sox, which Jerry Reinsdorf loves more than anything in history. He's part of this later generation. So the name that came to my head, and I was like, man, he didn't play here long enough for this. and he went out in a weird way. But Chris Sale is probably the greatest player of that generation. But they won't do that. That's not
he needs
right. Like,
he needs some kind of second life with the Sox, like Ozzy did. And Ozzy's was a third life, but he needs some kind of like additional life with the Sox to bring that home. And I don't think that's there. And like the fact that Chris Sale, I believe, will be a Hall of Famer. He's not picking the Sox hat, and I think that eliminates him from being.
Who does he
just
pick,
from
though?
just from a pride thing?
You think he's gonna be going as a Red Sox? Yeah, going to Red Sox.
I think he goes
right?
to the Red Sox. Yeah,
because that's where he won a championship.
Won a championship.
Yeah, I mean, he could still win one with Atlanta. I mean,
could.
like, and then he's got a real choice there. But yeah, I think that's probably the case.
But yeah, it's not a Sox hat. It's not a White Sox hat, I should say.
Is it?
And that kind of kills it.
Is it
for him? But I do agree, Beef. He was fucking awesome here. Like
he was must watch.
Is there going to be an expansion team that comes in and woos Chris Sale away right before his Hall of Fame induction and pay him a bunch of money to put their logo on it?
Him. I hope so.
I'm a true blue Devil Ray. Yes, put that on my shit. Thank you,
Alex. I've already proposed the 31 for Canseco. Everybody was very upset with me for doing that, but I'm with you. I'm in. Speaking of guys that are getting a little bit of a second life with the Sox, Tim Anderson announced his retirement, and on September 17th, they're going to be honoring Tim Anderson and wearing the Southside jerseys.
Yeah,
want to get your thoughts on this whole promotion. MSS, I'll start with you. You're a promotions guy. What'd you think here?
I like it. I like that Tim's coming back. It has nothing to do with the fact that I have a couple game used helmets I would love him to sign. But I like that he's coming back into the White Sox circle. I think it's a nice honor for them to wear the jersey that is so closely associated to Tim Anderson. And when those Southside jerseys came out, the first City Connects, those shits were fire. Like people were like, wow, that is a whole new world. And he was front and center with everything. And I've always liked Tim Anderson. My daughter loved Tim Anderson. And I like what he did in Chicago. The one thing I was not happy about this last week with this announcement and everything was people continuing to bring up his private life outside of that and judging this guy based upon something that he did outside of his marriage when the person that he would have hurt the most does not judge him. That has, or at least not publicly, and has allowed him, or they are still together. They have the kids, they have everything. And it's real easy to look at somebody in that position and say, well, this guy wasn't a good family man. This guy wasn't a this guy was that. But if his wife is happy enough for him to still be around and she's there, who are we to judge anything? Like, we might not even have the full story. We don't even know, I don't know what happened. Right. I mean, we know what the ending was, but like they've had whatever struggle. That's the one thing that's been troublesome for me is seeing people judge this guy when his own wife isn't judging him, or at least publicly, and putting it out there. So I like that they're going to do it. I like him coming back in. And I think he will be a good ambassador for Chicago baseball, the Southside baseball. He was, an African-American male playing baseball when there's not that many anymore. And he was up there. He did a lot of things for Ace. He did a lot of things for the community. He
lived during the off season.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was great. What about you guys?
Beef, where are you at on this?
So, okay, a couple things here. And we're gonna have some fun in the back end of this, but I want Tim Anderson to be remembered accurately by people, because a lot of they're just remembering a little glimpse at the very end, Chorizy, when he got into a fight with Jose Ramirez, and Jose Ramirez kind of hit him with a shot and knocked him out.
Yep.
They're remembering, as MySoxSummer mentions, the infidelity, which they take those items and blame them for, like, that was the end of his career. His career went downhill because of injuries. He lost his legs. He was the type of player that his explosiveness depended a lot on his legs, and he lost power from those legs, the drive, and to be able to hit the ball with authority. He lost range at shortstop, and that's when it went on. The injuries piled up, and he ended up kind of with this shortened career. His peak between 2019 and 2021, one of the best White Sox shortstops in history for that 3-year window. He was the 2019 AL batting title winner. In 2020, the shortened season, he led Major League Baseball in runs. I mean, he has black ink there. In 2016, when he came up, boys, he was a rare development win for the organization, which kind of means he was developing himself because
despite of the org.
Correct. He rose up. It's like when you see a rose coming out of a cement. It's like, how the hell did that happen? That's what he was doing there. Okay. So he should get his appropriate flowers. He had a really bad year when his friend was killed, but he rebounded from that, and I think in a way he was thrust into this sort of like spotlight, like face of the franchise spot.
Making documentaries.
And it didn't suit him in his personality. That was not the person he was really supposed to be. And so I think all these things, let's remember this accurately. He did have a shortened career. At the end of it, he was cooked, and they kind of stayed with him a little bit too long. So I just want to be like very, let's be honest about what the career was, a short peak and all this stuff. Where I want to have some fun, though, is I have the Tim Anderson and his B-War buddies from White Sox history. So this is the B-War buddies list for me. Tim Anderson, 16.7 B-War with the White Sox. And for those of you who are watching on a live stream, you can see here are the players that were in and around his WAR and that you might have heard of. And it's kind of funny that Jose Valentin, who was like a for shortstop before him, 16.9 WAR. Kind of funny that they're kind of like ass to ass in there.
Ass to ass.
Oh boy.
He provided. It's funny that he provided basically.
All right.
It's funny that he provided basically as much value as Adam Eaton. And Adam Eaton had like the second tour of the White Sox where he fucking sucked or whatever. I saw people mentioning AJ Przinsky, jersey retired, 12.9 B-War with the White Sox. His overall B-War is like 24 because he had some great years with Minnesota, but I don't know. I'm not seeing retirement here. Lucas Giolito, contemporary, 13.9. Luis Roberts on there at 15.8. Kind of a fun list to look at if you're a White Sox fan that's around our age, because there's a lot of guys on this list that are fun, compiled some B-War in that time. So
Mikado.
Anderson, pretty decent career. It's cool he's being honored. That's kind of what I got there. I like Tim when he's here.
7.
Fine. No,
Seven's not
retiring
going up.
7, and I'm glad he's coming back in a good way. But I mean, that's all you really need. It's good.
I'm like that he's coming back in this too, and not as like home run derby guy. Now he could come and do home run derby.
Now he could do the derby.
Now
after
he could
this.
do it. Yeah, because he's retired now. Now he could do that. Chorizy. What do you have any feelings on Tim? TA7?
Well, first of all, I really loved Tim, and I thought as a baseball player, I always enjoyed Tim, and like it was a pure athleticism that kind of like led him to be the player he was. Like he would mess up some easy plays every once in a while, but he would make a play that you couldn't fucking believe, right? And Beef, to your point, like I remember when he started having like the downside of his career, the thing that came out that I was like, this is it. This is all it right here. Is his sprint speed to first dropped by a second.
It's a lot
in 1 year. And you could see that the legs were just gone. And like that was kind of it. And it was all downhill from there. But that window was incredible. But the two things I want to think about here is, one, this isn't like they're retiring his jersey. This isn't like they're doing so. He's coming back for a game when they're going to do a jersey that he was the face of. Like he was the guy in that jersey. Yeah. Like he was. When you think of that jersey, you think of Tim Anderson in that Southside jersey. That's just who you think of because he embodied it, right? And so it makes sense that you're going to bring him back for that. It makes a ton of sense. And I'll say, smart on the marketing team to try and reintroduce this, get MLB, hey, we're going to use this jersey once this year. Let us do this. They get that alternate in there. You don't think there's going to be like a gajillion Murakami Southside jerseys sold? Like, this is a promotion, people. You should remember that this is a promotion. And one thing I've noticed is
English,
the Sox are doing every promotion that they're adding in kind of late is coinciding with a day where they don't have a promotion or they just have fireworks against a major division rival. So the Ozzy retirement was the first one, and that was against the Guardians.
Yep.
The Wand is the second one. That's the Friday against the Twins, which they didn't have anything there. This one is the Thursday against the Tigers at the front of that series. And guys, you know me, I don't like to make generalizations about people. I don't like to just look at your Twitter avatar and guess something about you. But I will say in this specific scenario that if you are one of the people that are going, Tim Anderson was a clubhouse cancer, he's doing this, he's doing that, I don't like Tim Anderson, fuck Tim Anderson. I think the Sox knew they already had you that weekend with either Cole Swindell or halfway to St. Pat's. All right. So throwing that on the Thursday, you're maybe not the target audience for who they're trying to get in the park. Maybe someone like me, a little more the target audience for that. So just saying when I'm looking at this from a promotional standpoint, I think I kind of feel like that might be part of the case. But I mean, Tim Anderson, a player for that little window when we had a lot of hope, that was awesome. And he carried those teams a lot. Him and Abreu carried those teams quite a bit. So I don't want people to forget that. I agree with you, Beef. Like, you can't forget when it was good, because it was good. It was really great good when it was good.
Yep.
All right. Speaking of another promotion that was great. The Pope hat, baby. The Pope hat.
Yes.
Every goddamn person on earth was at that game. It was insane.
Yep.
I was getting texts for people like, hey, I'm up at the game. I can't get over to 108 though, because I'm in section whatever, and there's a gajillion people here.
Mm-hmm.
So it was absolutely mobbed. And I'm gonna just say it, guys. The hat's whatever. Like, I'm never gonna wear that hat.
No, totally agree, Tracy. Totally agree.
MSS though, again, you're the promotions guy. Give us the lowdown here. What do you think about?
I mean, I don't think you can. We spoke with TJ briefly here about. I don't think you could have a better promotion ever, and you knew it out of the gate. It just, everything was hitting the right thing, because they announced Pope Hat Night and Ozzy-E normal retirement. And for a time, more tickets sold for the Pope Hat Night than sold for the Saturday Ozzy retirement. Like, they were just selling 80% of the tickets that had been sold or whatever within a month or something. And after it was announced, were because of the Pope Hat. Like, they didn't sell any tickets to that game until they announced the giveaway. And, I thought, like, they nailed something. You said you're never going to wear it again. And I think that is almost what the promotion needs to be, right? Like, either something really nice that you're going to keep for forever, or something so stupid and so ludicrous that people are like, I need to go get this thing and I have to be there, even though I am not wearing this ever. I'm never gonna. This will never go on my head. I was on the head in that picture. You can tell it was just right there.
Let me ask you on that though, because I know I made the statement of I wouldn't wear it again.
Yeah.
But do you think, having felt the material, and like how it is, because it was hot as hell and it was crazy wearing it that day. How many of those do you think we're going to see opening day?
Oh, tons.
Okay.
Tons.
Yeah. That's kind of my thought. It's like opening day, that's going to be the hat. That's going to be the hat.
And someone's going to come up to me at a tailgate and say, look what I did. I cut all of the thing to make this stay on top, and I put a stocking cap in there. So now I can wear this, and I'm not even freezing. It's the best idea ever. My girlfriend did it, blah, blah, blah. You should talk to her. You should sell these on your site, is what they'll say. But yeah, people that do not reach out to me about giveaway said, hey, can you get one of those for me? And I'm like, no, I cannot get one of those for you. And then, because I only have one ticket, because I did not buy a bunch of tickets to go do this. And if I could have got there early, maybe I would have done what I do sometimes and maybe offer people, cold hard cash for their stuff. But, I heard there was a lot of people selling them for $10 a piece, because I honestly, the vibe in the park that night, and again, I was high, but it was so fun. Like, it just felt good, and like people were happy, and it was the outcome of the game sucked. They lost, but other than that, like, I thought it was just an all around great night. Like, I thought it was he just nailed it. They nailed that thing. I shared with my concerns with you earlier in the day. They're going to be giving away these hats, and I'm going to be late. I hope I still get a hat, because it's going to look really bad in all fan giveaway. And I'm like 2 innings late and I don't get it. They had boxes left, and they nailed it. They nailed it.
$5 at the garage sale.
How exactly? That's another thing. They're going to be there for forever. I was telling everyone that said that, like, oh my God, I can't make it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, trust me. I've never seen them give away 40,000 of anything. And I see everything in the thrift store at some point. Like, I see it everywhere. So you're going to get one. Just wait. Just wait it out. You'll be fine.
Beef, before I get to you, let's get this drink, because I missed this earlier. Jerry O'Sullivan says, great guest. Great seeing you guys at the 108 yesterday. And Chorizy, thanks for the bailout. Cheers, boys. Cheers.
Cheers,
Jerry,
my friend.
I did not see that early enough. I should have been the one that responded to it.
And remember,
because I was right there.
Remember that tonight, super chats, funniest super chat, judged by me, gets a free 108 bobblehead.
Yeah.
The 108 bobblehead is out there for free. Best super chat. Beef. Yep. What are your thoughts on this?
I have some thoughts and a couple questions for you guys. First, this giveaway was the type of giveaway that crossed thresholds through team, because you had a lot of Cubs fans there that we saw. There people that we know, people that were acting like assholes and putting the Cubs thing on the hat, like you put out there on Instagram, MSS.
Straight to hell.
But it is one of these, like, where we have hashtag 108ing or Wave Sucks that transcends team, and really those type of giveaways kind of push out and go further into different directions. It's so simple, yet so fucking genius, this giveaway. Do you think, like, this, at least for the Sox, will be a trendsetter into enough with the bobbleheads, enough with the fucking T-shirts? Let's do some more weird shit that might get people involved here, because that thing just took off, man, like wildfire. You guys, MSS, you think you're going to start to go in some different directions with
yes, but you also you have to be thinking when the opportunity presents itself, right?
Right.
Like, you don't get a Pope like every year, right? Like, this has never happened before. So, and then him to be a fan of your team, that's a very unique opportunity. And I'm glad that one of the first things we get from the Pope is a Pope hat, not a Pope bobblehead, not a Pope this, not a Pope that, like this. And then they did the jersey because they had the hat. It's like the Mike Vassell thing. No one knew he was gonna fucking do a wizard wand. Now they got a wizard wand. It's another one of these like great giveaways.
Very opportunistic.
You need that story. You need the crazy Jose Valentin mustache. Give away those mustache. The Dylan Cease mustache. But you also need a team that's winning, because it's not fun giving away a Mike Vassell fucking wand when they're 15 games out of the Central and they're not going to make the playoffs. No one gives a fuck. Not one fucking person. They'd care about the Pope, because that transcends everything. But but you need opportunities to present themselves, and allowing Vassell to go out there and do this shit and just have this creates that opportunity. So if you're too focused on making Mattingly trim his sideburns, you're not going to get shit like this. So like you have to kind of let these guys do their thing. So yeah, no, I think that it's important to have an outside the box idea, but you also need something very unique and then capture that and put it out there in an interesting way.
I think it's a great point, MSS, because the thing I was going to say was like, yeah, they're doing the wand, they're doing these kinds of things, but you're right. That doesn't work if the team is bad,
no.
Right? Or if the team's mediocre, even, right? Like you have to have these things. Like I was very surprised that there's not like a lot more like bear themed giveaways going into September. They didn't really do much like that. I
There's
do think though,
Caleb Williams bobblehead, but
one
it's
of my
special,
but it's a special. It's a special. But I think one of my favorite ones is coming up that we're forgetting about, guys, because it's the same weekend I think as the wand, which is the Finance Bro Vest.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah, September 6th. Yeah.
I'm not a big. Look, I'm not gonna wear that. That's not my thing. But when I saw the name of it, I was like, I fucking love this. I love that kind of shit. So like, I do think they are thinking like that. They're going for that. Like the Ditka sweater thing last year was awesome. I think this is along that line where they're going like, yeah, people don't want just these things. So I agree with you, Beef. I think we're going to see more of that. I think next year is going to be even less bobblehead, maybe, and a lot more. Because like MSS, you told me, right? Like you went for the Shoeless Joe, and people were kind of like, I don't even want that.
Yeah, it was very meh, and that's sad because that's a beautiful bobblehead. But and maybe this is maybe just me too, but I feel like the last 2 years they've had two bobbleheads that have landed flat with fans that I absolutely loved. I love the Bill Veck and I love the Shoeless Joe. And I think those both landed flat with the fans. They're just kind of like whatever, but those are beautifully made bobbleheads and they look great. And I just like the whole the sentiment behind it. Like these are great. But yeah, I think you've hit a cap. And I didn't think they were going to do as many bobbleheads as they've done this year. Because after last year they did like 15 or 16. Like that's a lot. So I was like, there's gonna be a refractory period. Nope. Still blowing
the market
loads
can't
everywhere.
absorb all of them.
Still blowing them all. Like I don't even know what to do with some of them now. I've hit a point where I had to start putting some of them away, like the old ones, and like that. Some of that was easy. Like Nick Swisher coming off my shelf, really easy. I didn't need him up there. Eloy, don't need 3 of his bobbleheads on my shelf either. We can put him away. But like if you're a completist and you want everything up there, like, man, it's I'm running out of real estate. There's just not a lot of good ones up there. Or you got to take some of the bad ones down.
Now, I got one more question about this giveaway in total. Now, if you guys remember back to before the season started, we were talking about the White Sox front office. And I had some concerns that they have a lot of talented people, and some of these people might start getting poached. Are we in the situation where there is potential for Mike Downey to get poached by some other team because of the success, not only of the Pope hat, but this entire season worth of giveaways so far? I'm a little personally nervous. Chorizy, are you worried about this?
So I'm worried that he goes and takes over like an entire minor league team's work. Like where he's the head guy in a minor league team because he's like so creative and out of the box with this stuff that like maniacs need a guy like that. But
I wouldn't be concerned about that. I don't think the pay is right. I think he's ascending up, man.
I don't know how major league to major league works like this in the marketing side. So I don't know.
I'm worried about his team getting poached. Like, I think that's where you go for him, right? Like, you're not going to lose the top guy because I think he has designs on somebody else's job that everyone doesn't really like. If you read Reddit or whatever, that guy, personal friend. But like, I think that's
where it would happen.
That's where
the Cubs would be the one.
Jordan Sullivan says, if I were the Cubs, I'd poach him immediately. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of my thought generally because when you're watching this all unfold, it's like, this has been great. And everyone is commenting like, holy shit, look how cool this is. There's a fucking New York Times article about the goddamn thing. Like, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Unlike the other guy that grew up a fan and then left for a division rival. I don't think our guy, Mike Downey, who grew up a fan, is going to leave for a rival. I think he's going to stay for his entire contract. I'm sure he doesn't have a contract, but I'm thinking he will be here as long as he wants to be here. He is not leaving just to like go maybe become a national star. No, I don't think so. I think Mike's going to stay here and be a Sox for life.
Love to hear that.
Beef, you don't think that though. What do you think?
I'm just nervous. I'm just nervous because you can see the obvious talent, and it's you know how I get, guys. I watch the front office, and it's like they got talented guys up there. Is some other team going to come and say, give them a great offer and say, we're going to get this guy out of the Gets front office or whatever? And I've been nervous about that. And I'll be nervous about it into the offseason because we got a good group, and on that side we got a good group too, and it's getting a lot of fanfare, and it's like, bro, I mean, I want to see my man succeed, but also I don't want him to leave. Like, I want him to stay.
Agreed.
All right. Let's get into some on the field scenarios here. So the Sox the division race is just getting very tense. It's got the Tigers this weekend, Cubs after that. But guys, just your random thoughts on the team, the fan base, the climate, whatever you want to talk about here. And Beef, I'll start with you on this one.
Boys, I'm a little nervous about the obvious regression this team was due for. You know, kind of the reversal of good fortune. Regressing to the mean generally means like you'll play kind of as we should. But we know in real life what happens is there's a lot of bumpiness in that whole ordeal. And so what I'm going to put up on the screen right now is the White Sox hitters, qualified hitters since the All-Star break. And when you look at this chart right here, I've got it sorted by WRC+. The only guy who's outperforming his first half stats is Chase Mydroth. Every single one of the rest of the guys is hitting worse than their first half. Now, some of them not drastically worse, just a little bit worse. Antonacci and Vargas. But guys like Colson Montgomery and Tristan Peters have been much worse than their first half. And Murakami a little bit worse. But this is kind of all it takes. When you had a team that was a big surprise and everything was going your way and kind of like, you know, pushing very hard, just a little bit of a trend backwards can have you in a spot where you're like, oh shit, and not believing your team anymore. And I think like White Sox fans were conscious of it, but when you watch it in real time, you're like, oh shit, they're choking, or oh shit, their asses are getting puckered up, or oh shit, Getz didn't do enough at the deadline, or oh shit, the manager with all his stupid fucking different lineups. But really a lot of this stuff tends to be is just like, we were great in the first half. We are less so in the second half, kind of evening out our goddamn performance. And that's why I asked the question to TJ, because I was like, can you hold on? Can you hold on when you're not really that good, but you got a head start and you're ahead of this stuff? Can this work? I'll pull the pitchers up as well. And some of the pitchers in the second half are succeeding greatly. But if you look at the bottom of that list, and the list is sorted by ERA, you're seeing how bad Davis Martin's been. You're seeing how bad Noah Schultz was. You're seeing, and even Noah Schultz and my horse, Brian Hudson, has also been bad. Their FIPs are totally reasonable, normal, like decent. Doesn't fucking matter. What matters is the runs that go through. Like the FIP is a long-term kind of thinking process, right? We don't give a shit about that right now with 50 games ago or 45 games ago. Well, what matters is the shit that actually goes through there. And so like you're having regressions for me. And even like Sean Newcomb in the middle right there, they worked his ass off in the first half, right? And now he's turned back into like a pedestrian reliever, like totally fine, solid, but not the fucking workhorse and monster that he was. And so a lot of my concerns is just like the narratives they're going to pop up around this. And the fact that like, look, this team to me, there's the found money and they're better than we thought, but maybe they're not that great. And they're going to need maybe just some luck or something to get on the deadline. They look like the 2020 White Sox if they had to play the full season. You know, that's what they screamed to me. The 2020 White Sox, we knew it when they were at game 40. MSS is like, they have two starting pitchers right now. They desperately need a starting pitcher. And Ricky asked for a starting pitcher. They never gave it to him. Yeah. And that's kind of where I'm at with this. I don't know if it's any one problem, if it's not just all of them kind of combined.
Yeah. Well, I think Beef, I broke this for this segment, I broke this into like things I'm worried about, something I'm excited about, something that I'm randomly predicting. But the something I was worried about was that most of the guys on this team are at or above the most games or innings they've ever played.
Yep.
And so that makes it worrisome down the stretch of like, what do they got left in the tank?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I think that's where I think there's got to be a little bit of like young and dumb, 4 a.m. bar guy.
Screw this.
You need the 4 a.m. guy. It's 2 a.m. You're at the bar. We need the guy that's buying the round of shots and we're going to the store till 4, right? Like that's the guys we need right now to like push this through. And I kind of feel like with the maniacs they got on this team, they can do that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not an easy task, man. The legs are wobbly, the eyes are blurry. You gotta power through. You gotta power through if you want to get there. So I'm with you there, like kind of in maybe in a little bit of a different way. You're thinking of just like the natural regression of this. I'm thinking of like the tiredness of a body of like, you've never done this for this long at this level with this amount of stress. Can you do it? I think they can, man. I think they can. MSS, where are you at on this?
So you said something interesting there, and you said stress, and I haven't seen anything from this team that's come out and looked like stress. The one thing that what did you see that was stressful?
I mean, Davis Martin this past month has been stressful. Colson Montgomery pressing at the plate has been stressful. A lot of guys swinging at balls that they normally wouldn't swing at is stressful. Guys, it's just in general, there's just like there's a bit of pressing going on as we get deeper into this season. So it's not I'm not like talking shit about the team, but you're definitely seeing like some wear and tear as you get down the stretch here.
I would agree with you on wear and tear. I would say when I'm thinking of stress, like Tanner McDougal today was stressing on the mound, right? Like he wasn't hitting spots and he just wasn't hitting it. And he was then trying to push forward and get in there.
That's like being like overly excited for the moment. I'm talking just like the stress of I'm in a tie ball game in the 8th inning and I'm batting. That's more stressful on your body than I'm up 6 runs and we're gonna win this going away, right? Or I'm pitching in a high leverage moment versus I'm pitching in a very low leverage moment. There's different stressors on your body in those moments. That's kind of what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, I was just thinking it in a different way. I was thinking like you got like these guys going out there and they're like being totally stressed and then they can't perform because they're still performing. And that's where like not as well as Loaf pointed out, like they're not performing as well as they were in the first half. But again, they're losing games by a run, 2 runs that seemingly they would have been way out of last year. Right. Like, so I think there is more of a calm, relaxed feel within that clubhouse and with these guys. I think TJ mentioned it too. It's like, hey, we can do this. We can figure this out. You have a veteran presence in certain guys to say, Andrew Benintendi, for Christ's sake, like, hey guys, we're still in this. We can still make this happen. But also they're just, they continue to kind of keep it happening. Like, so it's like, I'm not overly concerned about anything. It is a found money thing too. I think to a certain extent where I'm not personally invested in this. If this is 21, I'm more invested in this and I'm more like, oh my God, what the fuck? Like this is like, okay, we've built something and it is paying off. And so it's nice. I like that the division, I like watching the Guardians go down and I like watching Detroit come up. And Detroit is scary because they got rid of Skubal and are now still fucking going
and Mice
and Mice and what this has happened. And I'm in an MLB fan council chat and the guy from the Detroit guy, very charismatic guy, goes, I don't know which way my team is going because they acquired 2 people that will help them a lot and got rid of 2 people that would have helped them a lot. So what is going? He was unsure of what was happening, and now you could see that they weren't really sellers. They did some smart work, and it's working out right now. I like that. As far as the fan base, like, Loaf, I'm with you. Like, I don't want to hear all these goofy ass fucking theories. I don't want to hear when we lost a 1-run game today, Will Venable needs to be fucking fired. What? what are you talking about?
Yeah, they're reflexive in a way that, like, oh, if we lost, it's obviously the manager's fault. And like, you're watching this, it's not his fault.
No.
I mean, every guy he put out there stunk. Like, all the pictures stunk. And I like to pull this comment up from Uncle Ted. Uncle Ted says, first place in the Central is an amazing turnaround. Yep. It absolutely is, Uncle Ted. And here's what my fear is. It's an amazing turnaround if they win the division. It's an amazing turnaround if they lose the division by 2 games, whatever the fuck. But you're going to hear wild stories in either direction, depending on that very small little thing. And eyes on the prize, longer picture, you're like, yeah, there's big improvements here. Are they kind of the best team in the division right now? I'm not sure that's the case.
I don't know.
I'm not sure that's the case. They could win the division, but I'm not sure that's the case yet. And it's part of the reason, in my opinion, why Guts didn't really barrel all the prospects. We're not at that point yet. He's still building the house. And so, like, watching a little bit, I don't want to hear, oh, these guys choked or something like that. They don't have the talent base some of these other teams have. They've popped up and they've been nice and it's fine. But I want to enjoy it, and I am enjoying it. But just look at it for what it fucking is. And that's kind of where I'm at with this thing. And will you be disappointed? Yeah. But in 2 weeks, I won't give a fuck afterwards, no matter what the result is.
And if you're in White Sox Twitter and you made some type of prediction on this team at the beginning of the year, you should remember that prediction that you made at the beginning of the year. And you should then adjust your beliefs of how this team is doing down the stretch based upon what you thought this team was going to be. You can't come in and say, oh, they should have done this, they should have done that. When at the beginning of the year, we're saying, man, we're going to be fucking lucky to win 60 games, or whatever, like you need to fucking just remember where we're at. So the fan base, that's where it gets a little weird. Climate and just like the vibes at the stadium, I'm digging it. And maybe it's because of the weed, but I'm definitely digging a lot of it. And it's a fun place to go. It is crazy. We're talking about stress. I am getting a little like, oh man, okay. How much harder is it going to be to get in to today because of all the people that are showing up?
Yeah.
Like this kind of stuff. And they keep kind of doing it okay. They're doing okay, but they're chugging. That's where I'm getting a little stressed. I'm like, oh, I gotta go down a little earlier today so I can make sure I get in my seat and then kick that person out of my seat because everyone's sitting in my fucking aisle seat. But yeah, no, I'm digging it. I'm digging a lot of stuff.
Show up before the 5th inning, and then you won't have
try.
We do got a drink. It's from Richard Carsley. He posted this first, and then he was like, "Man, I really need to get this up there." So
oh my god,
$2 to do it. He says
RC.
MSS definitely has loose stool.
Son of a bitch!
Congrats, MSS.
I took a very thorough, good, thick dump today, sir. So take it easy. I did have a salad today, so there could be loose stool tomorrow. But today,
Taylor Farms,
Taylor
Farms
good.
lettuce. So for this segment, I'll point out something that I kind of enjoyed the other day, and I'm wondering if this is going to be a more regular scenario for the Sox. But they did find a very stingy defensive lineman in the outfield, where they had Doyle, Peters, and Braden all together in the outfield. And I mean, I think Castillo had a fantastic game.
He did
10 plus strikeouts, like seven innings, like just what you kind of were hoping you could get out of Castillo. But I think lost in his game was there was the catch by Tristan Peters on the Matt McLean hit that was, and I posted about this. It was like the expected batting average on that was 560. It was a home run in 7 parks, right? Like this was, and Peters made a he went up and jumped at the wall, but it was fairly pedestrian. Like it wasn't like he just like almost died going on. He kind of did like the little jump at the wall and caught it. And then there was also the Braden Montgomery catch later in the game where he really like kind of pulled that out of the ground where you're like, oh,
like he's missing that.
It?
And he's
there was definitely
nailed it.
The hand up from the dugout from the Reds dugout, you know, like, hold on, let's
review maybe.
Okay, and they didn't review because it was a great catch. But those types of things and just the general, like you hit it in the outfield, it's probably getting caught, is what we ran into against the Red Sox when we were at home against them, where it's like everything in the outfield just get caught. Yeah. And you're like, I don't know what to do here. I don't know what to do. And so I'm kind of excited about this outfield alignment, and with bringing Antonacci into the infield or possibly having a different DH, like those types of things. I kind of think they maybe are looking at what next year could look like already. And to me, that's exciting. To me, that's exciting to see, like, there could be like this really, really good defensive team.
Yeah.
That the Sox put together. And Meidroth at short looked good. He couldn't quite adjust on his first throw today after playing shortstop and moving to second base because he almost threw that shit into the stands.
He did.
Yeah. Marcus looked at him like, what are you, Chuck Knobloch? What the fuck is happening here? But it worked out. I don't know.
Yeah, Chorizy, I love that. And when it was lined up like that, we were like, oh, they're going extreme defense out in the outfield. Let's just see how this works or whatever. And I loved it, actually. And it might be like a prototype for what they're going to do, as you mentioned. Like, maybe the plan next year is let's play musical chairs with DH with the five infielders that we have in tow. And Antonacci is now part of the infield, and he's going to be playing second or third. And you're going to switch these guys around a little bit, or some DH as well, because that looks so much better. Like, Antonacci's not making that play that Tristan Peters made. The coverage out there is just like
that's no shot on Antonacci.
No shot at him at all. Yeah, exactly. No shot at him at all. Just wonderful to watch. And it's nice to see the team focusing in on their strengths, utilizing their strengths in a certain situation. They know Luis Castillo is going to throw fly balls. That's kind of what he does. Fine, put the best defense out there to catch those fucking fly balls. And they did it, and it was like, for all the stuff you hear about, like, why are they changing the lineup again? There's always a reason why they're doing it. And that was an obvious reason for us who were paying close attention, and it worked great.
Man, I would honestly love to see that tomorrow.
What did you guys say? What did you guys say?
Nothing.
My guy JT, what'd you make of it?
I said Antonacci would never make that catch that Tristan Peters made.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's just because he's a second baseman.
No shot against him. Man.
It's not.
Peters is
not really a shot.
Like,
it's just that Tristan Peters is a very good outfielder. But I think that kind of leads into my random prediction, Beef, and I kind of want this to come to fruition tomorrow. We'll see if it does. I know Newcomb's going to be the starter. Like that's it. They're letting him start. I kind of want to see Urquidy come up. And I kind of want to see that defensive alignment put behind him, because he's definitely at this point of his career very fly ball oriented. But also, I kind of want them to go, Jose, we just need 3 innings. And what we talked about, Beef, with Fetty is like, you haven't used that sweeper a lot in your career, but that sweeper's good. Sell out on the sweeper.
Throw it a bunch.
And I think that's something with, like, maybe with Urquidy that they could do, who's formerly like a big, 4-seam changeup guy, but the sweeper has bled into his repertoire. He didn't use it at all last year for some reason, but Houston was building it up. It looks good. It looked good this year when in the short sample we got. It could be something where they're like, we're going to limit your pitches, and you're going to pitch 3 innings at a time here in this short stint where we need you. Just sell out to these pitches. Like, so there's kind of a part of me that thinks like Urquidy will come up and look good, and we'll get irrationally excited about him, but it's kind of smoke and mirrors. Like, so like that's
one time through the order, dominate.
Yeah. And like, the Newcomb start, if they do bring him up for this, the Newcomb start kind of fits perfectly into this narrative. So I don't know if I'm just wishing upon a star right now, but I kind of feel like this is where we're going.
I love it. I love that very
Newcomb
much.
did warm up before Fetty went in. Like when all that hubbubaloo went down, like he was getting loose, like he was getting ready, like because Davis was losing it and they could see. Then, like he was stretching and he was getting ready, and then it didn't happen. So they Fetty trotted out there after the ejection. But yeah,
MSS. What's a random thought you got on this team?
God, man, just man. That you see, I didn't think this through, but I just
let me get this while you're thinking. Let me get this comment up.
Really a random
get this comment up because Nub is not Stump said, "What are we gonna do about Brooks Baldwin next year?" You passed the test. You've been around for a while. You're talking about Brooks Baldwin. I love it. So, but I don't know what we'll do about Brooks next year. We don't know what this team's going to be, how this team's going to be formulated next year. But I'm pretty sure Baldwin has plenty of options. So it is something where they could start him in the minors and then figure it out as we get into it.
Yeah, and Benintendi's gone. Not that he's playing the field anyway, so it really doesn't matter. So anyway, I random thought, I guess, is just I don't know. I'm trying just to continue. Just focus and just have fun and enjoy all the stuff that's happening. Embrace all the new things that are happening. My nephew, who really loves baseball, big baseball guy, that bounces around from team to team, though, when they seemingly are doing well, has now landed on the White Sox, and is my sister is paying for CHSN so he can watch White Sox games. And
all right.
It's interesting. I'm very happy about that. I think that he's been wearing our that classic view shirt that is available now at the Charities Corner. They can buy them again now. They have them available there. He's wearing that almost every day. I don't think he wore it the first day of school though, so I didn't want to make that big of a statement first day in 8th grade. But I know he does wear it a lot. So I'm trying to not get concerned about that because he has ruined the Padres with his like flightiness of picking teams. So I hope he doesn't do that to the White Sox. That's the only thing I'm worried
Padres
about.
are coming back. Padres are coming back.
Yeah, but Beef not there.
Give me one more random thought.
My random thought is, man, is Hagen Smith exciting to watch.
People
and it's a roller coaster, and I don't know if he's going to walk 4 guys or if he's going to strike out the fucking side. But I know his stuff is crazy, and if he actually gets it anywhere near the plate, he's so fun to watch. And, like, he's got the funky delivery and everything, and it's like, I saw some people saying, his velocity went up. It didn't matter. The guys couldn't fucking square the thing up anyway. Like, the way he throws it. So, like, I just, like, I'm excited when he gets in the game because I don't know exactly what the fuck's going to happen. And it's been positive so far. And maybe it'll go negative. Doesn't matter. I just enjoy watching that dude. Like, I want more of him. I need more of him.
Is he the high leverage reliever going down the stretch?
I think he is. I mean, they settled on him on the 8th inning already. And he just got here. And, like, the stuff, I mean, you see the stuff. You guys can't hit this shit. Like, if he can get it near the plate, man, everyone's fucked up. And, like, just watching it, you're like, oh, I know why that guy was picked 5th overall. And even if he ends up just being like a crazy lights out closer, so fucking what, man? Let's just get him up here and let him do it. And I'm glad that they're doing that. I'm glad they finally bit the bullet and said, look, just come up here and pitch. All right, we're enough of this AAA bullshit. Get here with the big leagues. And he's fun to watch. And look, I know I'm gonna eat shit. He'll have a real bad game, and I'll be like, oh, Beef said he likes this guy or whatever. I'm still in on him. I enjoy him. I like watching him pitch.
Let's get a couple drinks here. Richard's back. He says MSS goes to Applebee's bathroom for free smells. Cheers.
Another double post.
He must be hammered. He forgot the super chat.
Percy says that classic view shirt, fire, high quality. Cheers,
yeah.
Percy.
Cheers, my friend.
And then Jackie Trior says going to be in the section Thursday, 8:20. Cheers. I will be there. We'll hang out, Jackie.
I will not.
It's my birthday. That's my birthday game. So be nice. Boy. That's my actual birthday. Last year in my 40s.
Oof.
Any other random thoughts on the team, guys? You want to get into?
Nope. I'm good.
All right. Then you know what time it is. It's time for thank yous and GFYs. BeefLoaf, who are you thinking of GFY?
I got to thank the tremendous dipshit known as Ben Devine for dealing this hot one yesterday. We're at the game. Mr. Hand showed us this. He tweeted, breaking, finalized stadium deal is expected tomorrow with the Chicago Bears landing in Indiana. Per source, Indiana so heavily incentivized the deal so as to include a name change with Indiana in the team name. We laughed our asses off. We all said this is definitely not true. And of course today, retraction. I was duped, yada, yada, yada. What a fucking moron. I was so happy to see this today. Could not stop laughing. So thank you, Ben Devine, for being a fucking idiot. I loved it.
You know, I've noticed, having been online for many years, is it's tough to be a breaking news guy when you just make up things. Yeah. So it's not great. It's not great. MSS, who are you thinking of GFY?
I want to thank my wife's cousin, who by proxy is basically my half cousin, TJ McFarland, for coming on and being so like jovial, and just having a great time, and just giving us really good insight and well spoken across that entire interview, right? Like, and he just very measured, very well thought out. I loved it. And I appreciate him giving us his time like that and coming on and, humoring us, with our baseball minds to like, yeah, I'll talk ball with these guys. This will scratch the itch that I've been feeling. So thanks, TJ, for coming on. Chorizo, who are you thinking of GFY?
Got a drink here. So outside Jeff T says, why did the sperm cross the road? Because MSS put on the wrong sock this morning.
I don't use socks.
Cheers, Jeff.
Or t-shirt. Who knows?
I'm a t-shirt guy. Mostly, yeah. Thank you. Not 108 stuff though. Not that.
But obviously, I want to thank TJ. That was a great interview. That was a lot of fun with him. But I want to GFY somebody.
Attaboy.
And I didn't bring this up earlier because this guy only deserves the last seconds of our show when everybody's already tuned out. Most people are not watching this at this point, but Jay Mariotti, go fuck yourself. You're out there trying to be relevant when no one gives a fuck about you anymore. Trying to do something. You're trying to be edgy. You're trying to be this. You're trying to be that. Go fuck yourself. Just stop whatever you're doing. Start giving hand jobs on the side of the road or something, because no one gives a fuck what you guys are saying. What you like, just the guys who are just like these washed out reporters from back in the day that are just trying to like do incendiary shit that come out there. Substack. Jay, you're the leader of these guys, and it's a leader of a lost fucking cause. Go fuck yourself. Have a good night. We'll see you all at the park.
In the city of Chicago, back in the day, there was a ball player. They called him Jizz. They said playing for the White Sox, he had a certain flair. He hit 69 home runs, and that ain't fair. He swung that bat like a wild tornado storm. Every time he stepped up, he smashed it. It was the norm. The ladies in the stands, they couldn't help but stare. The legend of Alejandro Jizz spreading everywhere. Ooh, Alejandro Jizz got the magic touch. On the field, he was a king.